Welcome to the Smark Foundation Podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
And we are here to cover the best of AEW for the last week. And other topics as well. For today, and this might tie in a little bit later, but it seems that Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux are unceremoniously free agents with expired deals, which means they can show up anywhere at any time. Um,
Yeah, yeah, that seems sus, right? Like it seems because if you pay attention to wrestling news, like I am sure the vast majority of our listeners do,
for sure.
like we've seen this coming from a mile away, right? It's been discussed. Oh, their deal is coming up. Oh, their deal is coming up. Oh, their deal is coming up. Meanwhile, there's, I guess, having trying to build a program with Sami Zayn that just got blown off
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
And like they're having to quell people from and ignore people who are cheering for Cross because he's been, there was the thing right after WrestleMania where he did kind of that work shoot thing
Hmm.
at the press conference. Like I don't know if I buy it. I want to say it's that they probably let his contract run out and then so that they could say that they did and then immediately signed him on the low.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They did the same thing with R-Truth like earlier this year. So
Yeah,
it wouldn't.
there's a precedent, although they haven't done crap with
No,
killings since he
I
shaved
mean,
his head, right?
not that I
Like from what I've
know, not that I would know.
like
You
the
know?
I mean, I remember it was a big deal online. It's like they unceremoniously let his contract run out. He announced it on online. People were really upset. He comes back and as a surprise
Yeah,
as Ron Killings, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
They
yeah.
gave him a bunch of merch with that. He shaved his head like the next night on Raw or something like that. And then they did what was it, Saturday Night's Main Event with them, and then nothing, literally zero things.
Yeah.
All the while Triple H is like, "Hey, did you enjoy the show?"
No, no, Hunter, no. Somebody needs to have a coming to Jesus with you, bud. But
I,
so
I, I am in
that
such agreement with Kate Hensler from from Fightful, who's a friend of a friend. Like she puts it very, very, very succinctly. She's like, somebody needs to give that boy some media lessons because he is so. It's so funny to me because he was a master backstage politician, right? He worked his way all the way up to the position that he's in the company where he basically is almost unchallenged in terms of authority, pun intended. And yet, when he's put in front of the camera in this executive role, he is the worst.
he
He's
just
worse than Tony Khan.
he has it's like
He
he's
is,
wearing pants that are made out of a gun that's pointed directly at his foot.
yeah,
And his goal is to fiddle around in his pocket until he blows a hole in his toes. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
That's a good way of putting it. Like he just does. I mean, part of me is kind of glad that even though it was for the wrong reasons, that decided they were going to stop doing those press conferences after their PLEs because
oh
that
man,
now I don't have to see it on my Blue Sky feed as often, him messing up again because he's absolutely media illiterate.
yeah. He's just
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm some pleb. This is the first thing I've ever done that's been in the public space like this before. Okay, so I'm not like tooting my own horn here because I'm sure I have an enormous blind spot for things I should and shouldn't say on this show. I get it, but I am not the public face of a multi-billion dollar
that's
corporation.
right. The only people we are responsible to at this podcast is ourselves. And
Yeah, and to give you guys, our loyal
but
listeners, a good show.
but we don't have a board and we don't have a PR department and we don't have
Nope.
anybody telling us what to say or what not to say. We just kind of police ourselves as everyone fucking should.
Yeah.
Um, Problem with Paul is that Paul is not a PR guy.
Nope.
Paul is not Vince,
Nope.
unfortunately. And I said, okay, look, Somebody
Vince knew what he was doing.
somebody is
Like,
dragging me for saying, unfortunately, he is not Vince. But let me explain that, okay? And because we've said it here on the show before, I just want to make sure that point gets across. Vince, for all his faults and all his bullshit and all the suits he's now involved in,
of which there are plenty.
of which there are plenty, did not have any of that shit going on while he was running WWE. Do you know why he didn't have that shit going on while he was running WWE? Because he had a fucking PR department to handle all that for him. He had people who knew how to handle shit like that because, as far as I know, as far as I can tell, people that worked for the WWE PR department at Titan Sports were also people who worked at, like, Richard Nixon's presidential campaign and shit like that. So these people knew how to handle like the worst people on the fucking planet. All right. They knew how to make them look appealing. And that's what they did for the longest time. And now we have a guy who does not understand the importance of that, who the only people he answers to are a company who also employs Dana White. So obviously they don't know the importance of that either.
Yeah. I mean,
TKO is basically just, it might as well be Trump knockout. Like, because
yeah,
TKO is they're just as crass and fucking awful as the president is.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
just as crass and awful as he is. And they don't show any up like that. The guy who runs UFC beat his wife in public and
He
got
got away with it.
zero fucking
Scot free.
consequences from the company. Zero.
Scot free. He got zero consequences from the law.
If Bill Gates slapped
It's
Melinda
on.
Gates in front of people, Microsoft would take his shares from him.
Yeah.
Like if
There's no accountability whatsoever.
I would say if Elon Musk did anything stupid like that, Tesla would F him up, but that's not true.
No, no, that's not
They just gave him like $30 million for no reason. So,
true.
but anyway, beyond all that, back to where we kind of started.
Well, on top of that, though, too, is you can't divorce this situation from Paul's ego.
No,
This is a guy who says, "Oh, it's all about them, and I don't want to be on camera anymore." And then he opens every
on
show.
camera all the time. Yeah,
He's on camera all the time. He puts himself front and center in their new, you know, breaking kayfabe show, like as if
I haven't
anybody
watched
is
an
convinced.
episode of it because
Me
of
neither. I don't want to.
I don't
I don't
want
care.
to. First of all, but
It's just a new way of working us. I have no interest in that.
for me, it's not like a thing to suspend my disbelief. All I'm going to do is pick out the parts where they're still working us.
Yeah.
Because I've sat in meetings like that, yeah, on a smaller scale, admittedly, but for the National Wrestling Alliance, which is not like a piddly fucking organization.
No.
That is a historic wrestling fucking standards.
Yeah. It still has a board. It still has a rich tradition and a rich history, even if they're the product that they're
Their
putting out
current
isn't
owner
that
is
great.
really trying like hell to fuck that up, I feel like. And Billy, I love you, but dude, call me. All right. Call me.
Yeah,
You need
for
somebody.
real.
You need some like in fact, you know what? Tony, Billy, Paul, all of you. I don't know who's running TNA right now, but Tessa Blanchard's still there, so they need me too. Uh,
Yeah.
but
No, no
all of
kidding.
y'all can feel free to give me a call whenever I want, whatever you want, because I am not one of your yes men, and I will bring you to Jesus. Okay. And that's not like I'm going to have you're going to be saved over the phone by the time no, that's not how no, I mean coming to Jesus the way Southerners mean coming to Jesus, which means I'm going to hold you accountable for your actions and tell you when you're being a
Yeah.
fucking asshole.
Yeah. Uh, although unlike Southerners, this Jesus isn't going to be white Jesus, white blonde Jesus.
No, no,
This is
no,
going
no,
to be
no, no.
this is going to be the real. This is going to be
This
the
is going to
Middle
be
Eastern
Hebrew
scraggly
AEW.
guy who beat the crap out of bankers.
Yeah, yeah, flipping tables and fucking up your money changers. Yeah, that guy that you're coming. Yes, because
The
I'm.
communist Jesus.
But that said, so they did all this with Truth. They've done all this stuff. Like they're screwing it up with Unreal. That like WWE's made a lot of decisions that almost every day, make me feel better about just switching this shit over to AEW. And the only reason we're talking about WWE right now, to loop back, is because Scarlett Bordeaux and Karrion Kross, Killer Cross, or I'm not sure what else he would be called on the Indies, or if he could be called
Probably
still,
go back to Killer Cross.
are suddenly free agents in a way where they could possibly show up at ding, 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 Forbidden Door. And honestly, if Tony doesn't sign them, that kind of would technically, like if he doesn't sign them yet, like until after the show, that would still kind of technically count as a WWE AEW crossover because this guy was a WWE superstar until like a week ago for at the time of the show.
I don't think not even. I don't
Yeah,
think even.
yeah. And then I mean it's still I think it counts. Okay, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being like a hopeful fanboy, but that counts. That counts Forbidden Door, and that's just another organization that Tony can cross off his list. And fortunately for him, in this case, they can't do shit about it. He can job this guy out. He can do whatever he wants to do with him, which I don't know what he would do. But what I mean to say here, or what I'm getting at here, is that when I was covering WWE for this show, Cross and not really Scarlett, she doesn't really do much. She just kind of stands there.
Yeah,
Uh,
stands there, looks hot.
but I mean,
Eh,
that's okay. That's her job, and she's good at it.
eh,
But Cross, Karrion Cross was one of my favorite people to watch. He's incredibly interesting, highly intelligent, very obviously highly intelligent. Um, and that's all borne out in all of the shit in his promos and stuff that he wasn't saying. It was so he would come out and he would say something incredibly provocative and or evocative or whatever to gain your attention. But if you paid attention to his promos, it was the shit he was doing around all of them. Like depending on who he talked to, he would style his hair like theirs. Like when he was talking to Sammy, his hair was always messy, like it just got like he just got a sour and it was tied behind his head, like Sammy does. When he was talking to AJ, it was like beautifully fucking straightened and combed and everything. Like just the shit he was doing with his hair was like a mental play, and there was more than that going on. The guy, I thought the guy was entertaining, and so that's kind of where we're starting today. Is that I thought this guy was entertaining. I think he'd be good on AEW, but I also still understand everybody's concerns about roster bloat in AEW because I have those same concerns. I
yeah,
also have concerns about people that I really enjoy getting pushed down the card at AEW for somebody from WWE and the kind of sentiment that creates. And also how it makes me feel because it's affecting people that I want to see. If Karrion Cross shows up in AEW, it is going to affect somebody that I want to see probably. It's going to shove somebody a little further down the card than they are right now, and it's not going to be that fair.
yeah,
Kind of like when Megan Bain showed up, them sticking the bottle rocket up her ass for like 3 or 4 weeks until after
yeah,
the Storm match. I felt was incredibly unfair to a lot of people who had been there week in, week out, working their ass off that probably deserved a shot at Tony Storm, whose names weren't Megan Bain.
yeah.
Uh,
I will say that it was balanced out by the fact that they didn't just have her immediately go over and win the belt from Tony.
if they had made
Like,
her, I'll tell you
ooh,
now, that would have
yeah,
pissed
it
my wife
was,
off so bad she might not be watching anymore if that had happened.
yeah.
It would have made me mad for sure. I would have
I
still
I
watched
feel
probably.
like it should be noted that the builds to that was convincing enough where I honestly it was like 60-40. I was like 60% like Tony's got to win this, right? This is just her something to do. They're taking this at least all in, right? And then but the build was such that 40, she was so dominant and she like defeated Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, the top kind of gatekeep names in the division. And I'm like,
Yeah,
they may just strap the rocket to her. Like, I don't think that'd be
I
wise. She
didn't
was,
really agree with
Tony
her.
was just coming off the Hollywood ending, but I'm like, oh, I could see a world where this happened. I'm glad it didn't.
I
I'm
I
glad I
didn't
was
agree with her
correct.
beating Willow and
But
Statlander
like,
either, though. To be honest with you, I didn't really like
yeah,
it either. Um, I understood what they were doing, but I don't have to like it when Willow and Stat get beat,
no,
especially when like that's we can argue if we want. I don't think many people will, but like if we had to make a list right now of people who deserve a title shot at Tony Storm, Willow and Stat are going to be at least two of the
yeah,
top
they're
three.
they're 1 and 1A
Yeah, like
essentially
yeah, one and
at
one
this
A,
point.
one A,
After,
one B.
I mean, if assuming that she retains against Athena, because that is the assumption.
I have never been so fucking
Because
divided in my life because I love Tony Storm, but everybody knows y'all all know. Okay, y'all.
yeah,
I love
Athena's
Athena.
great. I
Like
I
she's
wouldn't be
great.
I love Tony Storm with all my heart, but I wouldn't be upset if Athena won the belt
Yeah, I'm not gonna see. This
because
is where
she's earned it. She's earned her place here. Like,
this is one of those interesting times where I'm not going to be upset either way it goes,
yeah,
except in the event that Athena disappears from AEW television afterward.
right.
If that
Yeah.
happens, I'm gonna be fucking mad.
My question is like, what does Tony do if she beats her? There's like nobody left. There's like literally nobody left in the division. She's cleaned out like everybody. So she would either need to turn heel or drop the belt to Athena and try and work up some of the girls on lower on the card. You know, she could feud with a Queen Aminata
Yeah.
or a Tekla or somebody that's a little bit lower on the card that needs, a little bit of push up the ladder, a little bit of legitimacy. Meanwhile, Athena, as a heel champion, can feud with a whole host of women. Those offer fresh new matchups. I'm talking myself into wanting Athena to win the belt, despite my love for Tony Storm.
And I want Athena to win the belt because I want Athena to win the belt because I want to see her work heel champion against a bunch of ladies while Tony Storm does her I'm
Her
climbing the
climb
ranks
back.
facing everybody all over again because come on,
Yeah,
like who doesn't want like can we go for round two? I think we can. I
for
wouldn't do
sure.
that, but give us time to do that. So you give Athena the belt for a little bit like they did with Mariah.
Yeah.
But Tony, now we don't got to do like she's destroyed or anything. Like she doesn't have to be devastated by her loss to Athena. She could just be like, look, I can't believe that she beat me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the back of the line and I'll see you again. And it'll be soon. And
I
then for
mean,
like 6 or 7 weeks until
just
all
have
out or
Billy
whatever.
help her. Just
Yeah.
have Billy help her, and there's
Yeah.
your
Yeah. Have
automatic
Billy
like,
help her and schmoz it up. Yeah. And then have her
yeah,
tell Tony you got to go to the back of the line. And then
yeah,
until all out, have Tony beat the shit out of somebody on every show,
yeah.
climbing right back
Me,
to Athena, like, and then it's justified it all out. And then we can,
meanwhile, you've got other girls that can go up against Athena that are fresh matchups. I think Sheeta's back in the States finally.
I hope so.
I've
I
missed
hope so.
Sheeta.
Me too.
Uh,
Oh, God. I didn't think
I've
I would as
she's
much,
the
but I
ace. She's the
the,
ace, man.
the freaking roof better come off when she shows back up.
Yeah, I mean, for
Roof had
real.
better come off, or I'm going to be upset at AEW fans, and I'm going to let
Yeah.
you motherfuckers know.
Yeah, I
I
imagine that Riho is probably finishing up her rehab for her injury
hope so.
pretty soon. You've got Nyla always waiting in the wings. I don't know why you don't freaking use Nyla because she's
Well,
amazing.
I know why they
But
weren't using her for at least a little bit now because she was doing the sitcom thing, which
no, 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 no. That was from 10 years ago.
is it really?
The big deal about it was that it was on a new platform that everybody had
Oh,
access
yeah, I
to.
thought that was new, and I was like, okay,
No.
then
No, I mean she's been hyping it, but no, no, she wasn't filming. That was from 10 years ago,
if she just
apparently.
like stop it with this just sitting her at home thing. Like, look, okay, look,
She's awesome. Use her.
stop.
Like,
I, Tony Khan has a little bit of a problem. Like, I feel like Tony Khan almost has the same problem that WWE has with people who got themselves over because like
yeah.
okay, explain to me why people who got themselves over, a lot of them who got kicked out of WWE for kind of doing the same thing or got themselves over outside of WWE aren't with AEW, except for Cody. We don't like, I mean, we see Zack Ryder once in a while or whatever,
Cardona, yeah.
Matt Cardona. There we go. So we see Matt Cardona every once in a while on AEW, but he's not all elite. And why not? But fucking why not? Like it's like that. Like, what if like this person they got themselves over,
I
like
don't know. I
maybe it
mean,
spells the same for
I
Karrion
th
Cross. Like
I
maybe he won't
think
get in because
in
he got himself.
certain cases, like the best one I can think of is Dan Houser. Like in certain cases, I feel like he probably TK probably felt he had to sign him, but he doesn't get the gimmick. I
But
don't think he gets it, and so he doesn't push it.
but
And
see,
I don't know about Nyla though. Like
Nyla
she
got
was
herself over on social media. Dan
she
Houser
was
got himself
the
over on social
second
media.
ever women's world champion in AEW. And then almost nothing except gatekeeper stuff until she had a short feud with Jade over the TBS title. And then like
Yeah, the surprise
nothing.
bitch stuff, which was great. Like every time
Yeah.
you let her be on TV, she wrestles good and she's funny. She's
Yeah.
funny.
Let her be a baby face.
Yeah, stop making her a heel. Like, let her be a baby face. Let her be funny.
She is naturally hysterically funny.
Yeah,
Just let her do what she's doing on social media in front of a camera.
yeah. It
That's
bothers.
literally all you'll have to do.
Yeah, like yes, we want to see more women. Let's start with Nyla. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. Like, I don't
I
know.
mean, I'm glad that
This was
AEW
the
is like the company of inclusion and everything like that, but like really it's only kind of in comparison to
yeah.
WWE. Like they're just doing better than them.
They're
They
just
could
yeah.
still
That's
be
a
doing
low
better
fucking bar.
themselves.
Yeah,
You
doing
know,
better
they
than WWE at anything like inclusionary or anything good for the people is like a low fucking bar. Um,
yeah.
just being better than WWE is a low bar. Being better than better is where you're headed or where you
Yeah.
want to be. Tony, like this is the like if I have like if somebody's like, hey, you got to sit down with Tony Khan today. You can't do anything but tell him how much you like the stuff you like, except for one thing. You can pick one thing that you can have a bone to pick with him about. It's Nyla. Nyla
Yeah.
is the bone that I have to pick with fucking Tony Khan. She is freaking great at what she does. She's hilarious. She's one of my favorite follows on Blue Sky. She's fucking funny.
Absolutely. She's an amazing social media follow.
She's funny as
If
hell.
you're not following Nyla Rose, do it
Yeah,
because she's amazing.
she's
She's
funny.
fantastic. Funny as hell.
And the fact that he just doesn't use her is, I don't understand it. I get that you've got like this ever growing women's division, and it's literally like the best talent on the planet, but a good division is not only like I understand, like I get it. AEW is where the best wrestle, but you can't just ignore the people who get themselves over like this,
Yeah.
who have a following, who you've contracted them. Like I talked to her. She won't come on our podcast. They have to give her permission.
Yeah.
Y'all got her sitting at home doing nothing. She'd be more
Well,
than happy
that's
to come in. She'd
that's
be
not
more,
entirely true. They like putting her on like the little stand-up shows that they do
well,
every once in a
yeah,
while.
but
They like doing the stuff
if
with
I was a
AEW
professional
heels.
wrestler and
But like,
y'all had me doing everything but wrestling and I'm a professional,
yeah,
I'm gonna be a little bit,
that's the thing. Like she's great at the ambassador role. She's
yeah, she is.
fantastic at that.
But let her wrestle.
But
People
like
get her
she's
in the ambassador role. Like, when are we going to see you on TV? When you have an ambassador out there face to face with people and they go, hey, when are we going to see you on TV again? And she goes, I don't know.
I don't know.
And at this
Yeah,
point, that is what she is
it's
saying to people.
disappointing.
I don't know
It's
when
really
I'll be on
disappointing.
TV again. Y'all got to tell Tony Khan, tag him. And I do every time. I'm like, hey, Tony Khan, what the hell with Nyla? You know,
Yeah,
like he never answers. He doesn't, he'll fight with people on Twitter, but he don't answer on Blue Sky. This is what it is.
no.
Um,
That's why we have TK bot.
but, but like,
Shout out
this
to
is,
Andy Nemedy.
this is what bothers me is like, she's doing the ambassador thing and she would love to come on and spend an hour with us, but they have to give her permission. And why? If you're not going to have her doing like the work that you signed her to do, why would she have to ask you permission to come talk to somebody for an hour
Yeah.
and be
I
recorded?
wonder what it is that we're missing, what we don't know about the situation. Because I mean, she's everybody's only allowing us to hear what they want us to hear and what they
Well,
want us to know.
I will say
But
it
like
would have to
from
be
the
something
outside
fucking
looking
serious.
in, it doesn't look great.
Yeah. Like what would they have to tell you to be like, hell yeah, you're justified to have Nyla Rose not on TV?
She's injured.
Is there any
You know,
other than that? Is there anything they could tell you other than that?
uh maybe she asked for the time off, but I don't think that's the
I know
case
that's not true.
because she keeps saying, I don't know, for when people asking when she's on TV.
Yeah,
That implies that she wants to be, and they just don't give her the
I'm
shots. I
I'm
don't know.
pretty sure she has said she's not hurt, that she's not
Yeah,
injured in any
I'm.
way, and
Yeah.
all that. So I don't know what's going on with
I
that.
really do hope that she is. If Athena wins, I hope that she's on the horizon for a match with her. She doesn't have to win the belt or anything, but I do want her facing Athena at some point.
They could run their ROH feud back, and I'd be all kinds of happy.
Yeah, like they have
That shit was
history with
great.
each other. They
That
have
their
history
ROH
with
feud
each
was
other.
fun. If you haven't watched their ROH feud, like what? See, the problem though is that you have to figure out what dates the ROH feud happened, like the couple or 3 weeks that it was going on. You have to
Yeah.
figure out what those dates are, and then you have to go and you have to watch the stuff and then look at Nyla Rose's posts on Blue Sky while the feud is going on because it enhances it like 100%, dude. It is freaking amazing, dude. It's so cool. And hilarious. Uh, you know what? We're off on a whole bunch of different tangents already.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit more about the maybe not about carrying cross specifically, but a little bit more about a situation like that in our segment later. Um, but right now, we're going to talk some dynamite from this week, August 6th, 2025. We are finally
Cleveland.
not at the Aragon Ballroom, and I miss the
Yeah.
Aragon Ballroom.
Yeah, I do too. Like,
Not that this venue is bad, because it's not.
no,
It's actually a
not.
really nice little venue. But yeah, we were in the Aragon Ballroom for
I,
so long that I'm like, I kind of missed the setup and the possibility
yeah, I love those
of diving it
aesthetics.
nowhere. Yeah, the
You know,
aesthetic was just cool, man.
it was
So
really, really cool.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
It won't be long until they're doing the short residency at 2300 either.
Yeah, and that
So,
lots of balconies there.
yep,
Um,
lots of balconies there.
so we have a holy crap, like my short notes are like 37 entries long, I swear to God. So let's go to the long notes. And we have Dynamite opening with MJF. Um, I mean, long story short, he's pissed off at Briscoe and Hangman still.
Yeah,
And I don't really think there was any, like, I thought this was incendiary and stuff. Like, you know, he called Mark Briscoe a bitch and all that. But like, literally, I don't think anything he said in here was something he had not already
no.
said.
And that's the thing about MJF is that he is probably the most of the guys who've never been there. He's probably the most WWE coded AEW guy
Yeah.
because of how he kind of constantly reminds you of the same things from week to week, which is not a terrible. I get the mindset of it because you never know when somebody's first show is their first show. You know,
Yeah.
they tune in, they see you for the very first time. You want to just kind of get them up to speed as quickly as possible. But I mean, the downside though is that the weekly viewers like ourselves, we kind of get tired of hearing the same points over and over. It's like, okay, can we advance this somewhere, to the next step, please?
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, he's always entertaining when he does it. He is, I always love the cadence with which he delivers his promos. He's an interesting speaker. So like even when it's the same talking points, it's just it's still MJF. He's still a tightly wound ball of charisma. So I didn't mind it, but you're right. It was nothing special. It was the same stuff from past 2 weeks, really, just kind of regurgitated
Yeah.
as a reminder to set up later in the show.
Then yeah, so yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of regurgitated. After that, we opened the show action wise with Moxley versus Speedball, which sorry, continuing the trend of Tony Khan giving us a first match that I totally don't expect half the time. Because like I heard Moxley versus Speedball, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like that mid-show main event, or like maybe the actual main event. If it wasn't gonna be MJF and Briscoe, it was gonna be this. Um, the fact that it came on first, I was like, holy shit, really?
Yeah, coming in hot.
Um, I will
And it
say,
was hot too.
yeah, it was hot. It was a good match. I will say I continue to like Speedball Mike Bailey just as much as Cornette dislikes him. So Speedball, if you're listening to this, don't worry about that old bastard not liking you. I like you enough for both of us. So it's cool. I
Yeah.
cancel out all his dislike, and you keep doing those triangle moonsaults, and I'm gonna like you even more. Like I really enjoy that move for some reason. I think it's amazing every time he does
It's
it.
cool.
He does it so fast. too.
Yeah,
Like, and
he
it's the
does it
fact that
so quickly.
he breaks that third dimensional plane. Because I mean, everybody
Yeah.
does a backflip. He does a backflip sideways,
And
and
I think the way that they always shoot it helps with the presentation
yeah,
too, because you don't really see the plane shift coming until he's like right on top of the guy, and it's like, how did he do that? Like every
like,
single time, it just looks like he's like it looks like he's freaking Kitty Pryde just phase shifting through the ropes.
yeah,
Like
pretty much. But I mean, I thought this was a great match. Moxley beat the hell out of him, and he took every bit of it. So good on
he's
Speedball for being able to work with like one of the stiffest guys in the business. Uh,
Speedy is man he likes to he likes to take a shit kick and is what he
he is
likes.
a
He's
lot
so
tougher than
good.
he
He's
looks.
such a good baby face.
Like he doesn't look that tough. He looks like too nice of a guy to be too super tough, but he is way
And he's Canadian on top of it.
and
So,
Canadian. But he's way tougher than he looks. Like holy,
oh yeah,
and like that guy just takes.
100%. I'm
Uh,
so glad we got this match because I feel like Speedball really raised his like he was on the up anyway, but I feel like he really raised his stock with this match. And I think that's why it wouldn't surprise me at all if Moxley specifically requested this.
see, I could get on board totally with post championship Moxley just helping like the younger guys like Speedball this week. Next week's going to be Kevin Knight. Like
Yep.
if he's just helping these guys raise their stock in the industry, like I'm all for that, honestly.
I mean,
Because
at
Moxley
the
will
end of
get
the
them in there and he'll
day,
beat the shit out of them. And even if he wins, he's still going to make them look fantastic.
well,
So
yeah, which he did here. He did win, and did it was kind of anticlimactic,
yeah,
I will say,
yeah,
because all the signs pointed towards a Speedball upset victory because of outside shenanigans, which would still have protected Moxley while still giving Speedball an enormous thing that he could hang
yeah.
his hat on.
Um,
But they still went with Moxley getting the win in the end. He did hit him with the Death Rider, and it wasn't just a paradigm shift, and he didn't tap him out. So like in a certain way, he was still protected in the loss. But I was let's just say they did their job of telling a story that I bought into, and
mhm,
then I was kind of disappointed at the end. But I still don't think that Bailey lost anything here
yeah.
because he really acquitted himself well. He showed that he could hang in there and just kick all kinds of ass.
Right. Um, we proved for the second week in a row that the Death Riders must hold hands.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
guys are outside the ring in any capacity, you must hold hands. If you do not hold hands, one of you is going to fucking disappear. And
That's
this
the thing.
week,
That's the thing about strength in numbers is it only works if you're all together.
yeah, and this week it was
And Darby has
neither.
found the kryptonite
Yeah.
is in that strategy.
We got Moxley in the ring. We got Shafir watching Moxley's back. We got Yuta watching Shafir's back. And then Yuta gets chloroformed and dragged away by Darby Allen, bringing our kidnap counter ding up to two.
Yep.
Darby Allen has successfully kidnapped two people. Thankfully, I'll go ahead and say this now. This one doesn't end in attempted murder. Well, kind of. Okay.
Almost.
Um,
It almost does.
after
There's
this,
plausible deniability there.
yeah. After that, we got a lively backstage Tony Storm and Alex Windsor segment where it seems that Tony Storm is infecting Alex Windsor with her innuendo, right? In her
In your endo.
okay.
No, no, I love that bit. Like she was like she chastises Tony for one of her innuendos and then proceeds to do one of her own without even realizing it. And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm doing it too." It was a great little character moment for Alex there. I thought that was really well done. And then they go and tango away. It was fantastic. It was I love how they're like Tony's openly stating that this is a non-sexual friendship because literally every other relationship she's had on camera since adopting this gimmick has been like, oh yeah, we're kind of sleeping together, maybe, maybe. I don't
Maybe
know. I
Tony's
like key parties.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
maybe Tony's
yeah,
sleeping with everyone. You know, who knows?
yeah. It's like maybe Mariah,
Maybe Juice
maybe
Robinson,
Mina.
luckiest man on the planet. Maybe.
Uh, I don't know, man. Like, fact of the matter is that until he grows back that beard, I don't think he's got his luck. So he needs to look like the honeycomb creature. Like that
I've
he
been
just
saying,
needs
man,
to,
that's exactly what he looks like.
yeah. I don't want him to be I know he wants to be taken more seriously. I don't want him to be taken more seriously. I like him just the way he is. And that is looking like a cereal
If he
mascot.
wants to be taken more seriously, he should have left the hair and the beard and just become more brutal, not turn himself 15. Uh,
Eh,
anyway,
eh.
so directly after our Tony Storm and Alex Windsor experiment, we then see the Death Riders outside the arena. They are looking for Yuta, and they find him as Darby Allin drives by, having obviously just left him there in the middle of the road in a body bag. And
Yeah.
when they tear the body bag open, Yuta has a piece of paper that is what I think they wanted to look like was stapled to his head,
Yeah, but it was very
but
clearly taped to his
very
forehead.
clearly taped. Yeah,
Yeah.
very clearly taped. But it said Forbidden Door. So it looks like we're getting Darby Allin and John Moxley at Forbidden Door.
Finally, let's do it. Let's get it done. I'm all for it. I'm excited for it. I don't even care if it's a one and done Darby better win. But if this is a continuing feud, I am okay with those two tearing each other apart for 3 months. Totally.
Yeah.
Give it to me. I want it. Darby's earned it.
Yeah.
We've earned it by from investing in this storyline. So I'm definitely excited for that one.
um, After that, we have we're back. It looks like a pre-tape of Mercedes Monet arriving to the arena. Um, I mean, Renee's trying to talk to her, and then she calls Renee a mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, this will not be the first time, or this will not be the last time that we talk about the word mark this week.
No.
Stop using it on fucking TV. Okay. Please just stop that. Stop it.
Yeah, I will
Stop it.
give the other person a little that you're referring to a little bit of leeway,
Oh, I
but
know.
Mercedes should know better.
Yeah.
I will absolutely grant you that. Mercedes, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do
Don't do
that.
that.
Somebody who is one of her mentors or something, like somebody she respects, needs to call her and be like, don't fucking do that. Uh,
Like it's not even the connotations of the word itself. It's the fact that by using the word on camera, you're openly breaking the kayfabe. And I know that, the suspension of disbelief is only what you are willing to invest in as an individual. I understand that. But the performers don't necessarily need to like lampshade it either. It's like we know what we're watching this fake. Don't call us a mark. Don't call I mean, she wasn't even calling us that. She was calling Renee Mark. Don't call anybody a mark because that automatically brings to mind that yes, this is all performance.
yeah.
Like, which is fine, and we know that, but it's like that's not the kind of if you're gonna be meta, do it with a wink and a nod. Don't do it with,
A
some bass in
handful.
your voice. Like that's not the place for
Yeah.
it.
Especially don't call a mark. Don't call someone a mark who will, let's be honest here, is so beloved by literally everybody in the wrestling industry on every side, literally
Yeah.
every side.
To the point where she's the big bad and nobody's even
She's
giving
the
it to
big,
her.
yeah, she's the big bad. And nobody understands it. But two, she'll never pay for a wrestling ticket in her life.
Oh,
Not
God,
ever
no.
again. She will
Ever.
never again pay for a wrestling ticket.
Their child isn't paying for a wrestling
No.
ticket for
But
a kid.
Renee, and I also guarantee you this: nobody would flip out if she was not under contract to AEW and she just showed up to hang out at WWE backstage. They're not
No
going to
one
kick her
cares.
out. No,
No,
everybody
no one
loves Renee.
cares. Everybody loves that woman.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves that woman. And they should because she's awesome.
So she's just not a mark by pure definition. She is so beloved.
Yeah, this was the wrong way to get heel heat.
That's not the
Like
way. All you're getting is real heat from people like me in the industry who are like, stop saying that shit on television.
yeah. Like it would have been better if she had threatened to hit her and then didn't. Or
I would love
like
if he
threatened the
threatened to hit her and
backhand.
then
It'd be
Moxley.
like that's heat that I would want.
See, here's what I want. I want her to. I want her to threaten to hit her or hit her, and then have Moxley sick Marina on her. Like,
It would give her a new challenger
like
for sure.
I could just see Moxley in the ring. Like, y'all know I don't fucking like anybody, but
One
that's
thing
my
I
wife,
yeah, I
and so
like
Marina
her.
is going to have some words with you.
Yeah, yeah, I
um,
could see that. It would give
yeah,
Mercedes something to do too.
yeah, true. Next we had a
Although the match between Billy Starks, Sky Blue, Alex Windsor, and Queen Aminata went a little ways into determining what Mercedes is going to be doing,
um,
at least at Forbidden Door.
I loved this match and the after, but man, oh man, does that Billy Starks thing really stand out when she's in the ring with somebody like Alex Windsor and Queen Aminata at the same time.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
I wouldn't necessarily say that Queen Aminata is like a technician,
she's a hell of a striker.
but she, no, well, I mean, when I say technician in this context, I mean technique, not necessarily, grappling and hold and scientific so-called wrestling, not the stretching. This isn't, the fight pit in Wigan, like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
Yeah,
talking about like, or the snake pit is what I was thinking, what I meant. Um, what I'm thinking is like, even her throws, as hard as they look, and they look good, they don't necessarily look like she's not exactly Bret Hart in there,
yeah.
execution wise.
See,
But what she does looks great. Whereas Billy, it's kind of hit and miss.
well, see, the problem
So
I had here is that you've got a girl who is not near as substantial as Billy is,
yeah,
hitting what looks like a lot harder,
yeah,
and I'm just like, dang, like, I just can't unsee it, man. Like
yeah.
it almost overtakes every time I see this poor girl in the
And
ring.
I know it sounds like we're harping on poor Billy. I like Billy, and there are absolutely things that she does well. Striking is not among those
Yeah.
things.
She should let she could turn Tecker. I'll buy that all day because she can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
100%. I could buy that she could tie people up in knots.
yeah, and it's not like she
Sure.
doesn't have all the technical prowess in the world available to her in that locker room. Because
Yeah,
Rita Diva's back there.
absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so this match was really good. I mean, a lot of big high spots, but that's pretty much. I mean, it was like, okay, we're gonna get through transition from high spot to high spot. It didn't. It wasn't bad. The way they arranged it all was really good, and the match itself was good. But that is basically what happened because it seemed like even though this is a four-way with four women, they were time limited or something because this was all very quick in succession. This match didn't last very long. And the after part didn't last very long either. It was all over pretty quickly.
The other thing that did kind of, I wouldn't say annoyed me, but like because I can see where they're going with this, try and put all the focus in kind of one condensed part of the show. But like this was for a shot at TBS championship, but most of the focus was on Athena and Tony Storm, who were both ringside. And
Mhm.
then Monet, she shows up after, and she and Athena kind of tenuously, kind of not necessarily team up, but they attack Windsor and Tony, side by side at least, and they kind of have a moment where they just kind of stare at each other ominously. But like, I imagine that that's going to be a tag match that's set up for this coming week.
Yeah.
Uh, if not that, then probably on one of the go home shows.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know. I feel like with the like half, like a quarter of the division out with injury right now, like maybe keep all the programs separate. You know,
Speaking of a quarter of the division being out with fucking injury, Miss Aminata and Miss Blue, I have a little bit of a bone to pick with the two of you. Okay. Let's save the video game finishers onto steel chairs for like the pay per view. Like, if you're going to do that shit, let's do it in blood and guts. Okay. Not on dynamite.
Man, it
First
looks
of all,
nasty and it
first
looks
time I've ever
great.
seen an Emerald Flosion on TV because that's a
Yeah,
fucking video game move that most of us pros don't do. We don't do that.
yeah, yeah.
So
Everybody loves Misawa too much.
Good on Queen Aminata for doing, a move that
Yeah,
literally most of us won't touch, and also like a legit, like the Emerald Fusion where the Flosion came from was originally just a fucking video game move. And when people would suggest it in the back to other people, me as a referee would always hear, I'll do that video game shit. Like, you're going to kill me
yeah,
trying to do that. Do you even know, has anybody ever let you execute that move? And the answer is usually no. So, but
yeah.
we did an Emerald Flosion onto a fucking steel chair in the middle of a random four-way on Dynamite to get a shot at a shot, basically. Like, my ladies, pick your spots, please. Because look, I know neither of you are injured. You competed on Saturday night, but that shit didn't just look painful, and I'm positive of that. I'm positive it was actually painful.
I will
Because
say,
there's not a whole lot of ways you can drop somebody on the back of a steel chair
yeah.
softly.
No,
Like,
I imagine probably. I'll say this. I mean, in practical terms, I I want them to be safe
yeah,
with themselves and with each other. Um, that said, I can't hate it entirely because you can tell that these women really, really want to be taken seriously. They really want AEW's women's division to be taken seriously. They want more chances to be on TV. And you do that by, in AEW, you do that by impressing the fans and impressing Tony Khan with how far you're willing to go.
I mean,
And
yeah,
there is a conversation that can certainly be made to how that is detrimental in the long run.
so
That said, like, you tell they want it so bad. They want it so bad.
God, they do. Yeah, I respect
And
the
like
hell out of it for I respect Amanada for being ballsy enough to say, "Hey, let's do it."
she especially
I respect
Queenie
Sky
over
Blue
the
for being
past
ballsy
three
enough.
months, like I feel like as soon as Tekla came in, she's like, you know what? I'm done getting like stepped over. I'm gonna just take it to her and I'm just gonna take it to everybody and nobody's gonna stand in my way. And I respect that decision so much
Yeah,
because I mean, first of all, I love we've been over this. I love the on-siteness of it. Like anytime that she and Tekla are in the same ring, it's like I can't tell you why we're mortal enemies, but we are mortal enemies.
it's like Peter Griffin and the Giant Chicken.
Exactly.
Dude, they
Like they're just sworn enemies for reasons that aren't
don't even know
entirely
why.
clear, but
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because it
Oh,
rocks every single time. But like she's carried that to her other matches now where she's pulling this kind of stuff on Sky
yeah.
Blue, who is not unrelated, now that they're in a trio, but with a terrible name. But I you know, it's carried over to the rest of her work, and now I feel like she's in a much more prominent position than she was 3 months ago. And part of that's due to the fact that she's not injured and some certain other ladies are,
Yeah.
and so that she's going to get those TV spots regardless. But I feel like she's worked her way into it.
Mhm.
She's earned those opportunities. It's not entirely just happenstance. She's absolutely like she was on and off TV with this thing with Deeb that never really got off the ground. She would be on TV one week, and then it would be like 3 or 4 shows down the line, and they'd kind of revisit it, and then they would kind of do that whole thing. She's on TV sometimes twice a week, every week now,
Yeah.
and you have to credit her for her work. Like as soon as Tekla came in, it was like she marked her and be like, we're both gonna make our names off of each other. Are you cool with that? Yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's go out and beat the hell out of each other. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And remember, she was only put in that spot because Hayter was injured.
Yeah.
Like, so they just kind of it fell into our laps that we've got this like growing generational rivalry between these two women, and we're just kind of seeing it unfold before our eyes, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Um, you know, it's just I don't know, man. Like she's really good, and for a while there, it was kind of disappointing because it's like she's really good. We're gonna present her all the time for a while, and then suddenly she just wasn't gone. She wasn't there, and then it was
Yeah.
when she was there, we were doing shit with Serena Deeb. That was like it just didn't make a lot of sense. It really wasn't
It
that.
would have made more sense if they'd been on TV advancing it every week.
Yeah.
I don't know why they stopped.
But now, yeah, now obviously they got something going on. But like, guy, yeah, please don't like wrestlers kill each other on pay per views because that's the big payout day. Because then you can pay your medical bills afterwards. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why, like, if you want to know the real reason why wrestlers say most of the big moves like that for a pay per view, it's not because that's when people are paying to watch and blah blah blah. All that it's because that's the day you get the most money, and you might
So
need
if
that.
something
Yeah,
happens,
you might need that to cover, a few months in traction if this shit gets fucked up.
yeah.
So this is the safest time to do it because you're getting your payout for today, and that's enough to get you, keep you going for a while medically if you have to. Ring practicality with Rabbit 101. Anyway, after that, we get on
But
to,
yeah, oh, Windsor picks up the win with the
oh yeah,
Claymore.
Windsor picked up the win on this one, yeah, for sure. After that, we get on to what is becoming probably one of my favorite angles on AEW television right now, which is weird because any of you who know anything about me, I'm not a big fan of the Young Bucks on a personal level. Like kind of fuck those assholes. But at the same time, this is the funniest shit on AEW television. And I
Yeah.
am laughing my ass off week after week at this. I no shame in it. Fuck whatever opinion I have. This shit is funny objectively, and I'm having a fun time watching it. So this shit where so this week Nick and Matt Jackson are they're in the camera and they're yelling at the production team through the camera about, hey, why don't you show us some freaking respect, quit giving us shitty entrances, you know here's a note for Justin Roberts, tell him to read this
Exactly as written.
exactly as written, which will come back to bite them in the ass, but we're not there yet. But this is getting funnier every week, and I'm enjoying it. Like I'm no cat having a good time with this Young Bucks angle, and that's not something I'll normally say. So then
Yeah,
we get
I
to
I really, I mean, the best young bucks are the ones that are willing to make fun of themselves. Like that when they're taking the piss out of themselves, like it goes. I can't speak for everybody else, but for me as an audience of media in general, I am drawn to enjoying people and their personalities if they're a bit self-deprecating because it shows humility. It shows that they're not all about themselves. I hate arrogant people. Arrogance is one of the most especially unearned arrogance is among the most unattractive traits I can think of in a human being. It is repulsive to me
fair.
as an individual. And I feel like anybody who's willing to mock themselves, that's like halfway to me liking you right there.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, you don't take yourself too seriously. You have at least a little bit of ability to look in the mirror and kind of evaluate your own flaws and not just, cover them all up or ignore them, you know. So like to me, yeah, there are things about the Young Bucks I don't as the people that they are that I'm not exactly all about,
Yeah.
but I as performers like, I mean, I have a more favorable opinion of them as performers than you do. But even this stuff, like this is just it goes to show that yeah, I don't like some of their personal views, but I can at least respect the fact that they're willing to poke fun at themselves and make themselves look like giant idiots for the sake of entertainment, you know? And after so long of being like, I mean, obnoxious, but dastardly heels, it's kind of funny to see them be uh, I guess inadvertently incompetent is a good way of putting it. Like, you know, so it's fun. It's a really really fun angle. I absolutely agree with you. I'm getting a real kick out of all the stuff they're doing to basically bring back the spirit of bringing being the elite to AEW.
The only thing missing
Uh,
is Brandon Cutler.
I know. I mean, I think it's still implied that he's still the one behind the camera, although I don't know that for sure.
Yeah,
Like the last time we actually saw Brandon Cutler, he was getting absolutely mobbed by the Death Riders months and
yeah,
months ago. So I don't even know if in canon he's still there.
yeah. I was like, they
So
killed Brandon Cutler.
yeah,
So after this, we got Renee Paquette in the ring, and she introduced our brand new TNT champion, fucking after a 5-star battle with Dustin Rhodes, old
yeah.
Kyle Fletcher.
With
And
your
he's
stupid
accompanied
glasses.
by the Kalispell fucking glasses, man.
Every time my wife sees them, she cannot stop talking about how much she hates those glasses. And I get it. They're really obnoxious. They're really, really dumb. And I hate them, but I love them because they're really, really dumb. And it's good, good, honest, cheap heel heat.
Yeah, probably good, honest $10 heel heat, real good and cheap.
Yeah.
Um, so they come out. Don Callis kind of explains that he is putting together the largest numerical faction in pro wrestling history so that he can have power. Now, first of all, Don, you got a ways to go before you're at NWO numbers. Okay, you got like 2 whole extra factions to go.
Yeah.
Um,
That said, he still has like 8 guys,
yeah, that's
which
true.
is
He does
a
have a lot.
lot.
Now that also makes me think like, are you just collecting guys until one of them wins the championship? Are you gonna like?
He's playing the numbers.
Are you just,
He's just
yeah,
playing the
play the
numbers.
numbers. Are you gonna shit on everybody else who doesn't have a title once you've got them all? Um, but then Kyle gets on the mic and he's retired a legend and all that. And actually, I don't know if Dustin Rhodes is going to retire, but he is having both knees replaced, so we might not.
Yeah, that's
Could be,
it. That could go either way
yeah,
because they have to do it one at a time.
yeah,
They don't ever replace both your knees at the same time. They always do it one at a time. You get one replaced, you rehab it. You get the other replaced, you rehab that.
yes,
So it's gonna be a while before we see Dustin.
yeah. And
But I've seen in my personal life, I've seen people with knees replaced that have really, really come out of it the other side of that just feeling absolutely rejuvenated. And I've seen a couple of people who are like pretty worse for wear. So like it's kind of a coin flip.
yeah, so he runs down Dustin for a while, and then he kind of takes credit for Adam Cole possibly having to retire. So I mean, we're getting all the cheap heel heat we can get, for what we've done over the last few weeks. But then things kind of take a turn because
A
Don
really funny
Callis
turn.
reveals yet another one of his paintings. And this one is naked Kyle Fletcher covered only by the front plate of the TNT title over his dong. But Don Callis is standing behind him in a see through shirt holding the
Holding the belt.
strap.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh yeah, wrestling's pretty gay, guys. It's pretty gay.
Only when wrestling is gay is it less gay than normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's two oiled up dudes more often than not pretending to fight and rolling around and mad at each other. If you can't get over the fact that wrestling is a little gay, like I don't know what to tell you. It is. It is. This is way gayer than anything of that though, and that's fine. I that's fine. Um, I do kind of wish that I mean the next step though, really, is I mean, we can laugh at how funny it is that they don't get, that they're oblivious to how it looks all we want. We can ignore the fact that it makes them look like they're in a weird relationship given the age difference and the kind of mentorship, the power that Don Callis has over Kyle Fletcher in this relationship. We can kind of ignore that because look at Kyle Fletcher. He can certainly take care of himself.
Yeah.
Um, but uh what I honestly like it brought up something on my skyline. I saw a couple people bring this up, and it's true. Like where the women's division under Tony Storm has been allowed to be unapologetically queer, right?
Yeah,
Where is that in the men's division?
Anthony Bowen.
That's, I mean, and illusions between Kenny Omega and uh Kota Ibushi. That's it.
Oh,
Like
and Kyle Fletcher
Takeshita, but that's mostly online.
that is
Really, that's not even
all
really in
online.
front of.
Yeah, that is something that
That's
happened.
kind of on, off camera kind of thing.
Mm.
Like I when are we gonna get when are we gonna get somebody openly gay and at least in storyline actually in a relationship with somebody?
No telling it.
Like I feel like that's the next step, right? We need to go there no matter what. I honestly I feel like a lot of AEW's recent success has been the fact that they've leaned into the exact opposite things that WWE has leaned into. WWE has leaned into courting MAGA, and AEW, on the other hand, has Tony Storm at the helm of the women's division, unapologetically, aggressively, on her own terms, not the male gaze, but the female gaze queer, and standing in front of trans rights signs by fans. And you have Brody King with Abolish ICE t-shirts, and you know, see in Arena Mexico, like where it would be like make the most impact and have the most political, you know, punch. Like they are experiencing their success, I think, in large part due to the fact that they are actively leaning into the opposite political leanings of WWE. So what do? You do the first actual like major profile gay storyline that isn't, you know, making fun of anybody, that isn't you know, oh look, they're gay. You know, they're it's not tokenism. It's not like it's time. It's long past time. And like it, you know, hell, you know what you can even do? You can even involve Billy Gunn and you can rectify that past sin of the fake out with him and Chuck. You can involve him in it and have him tacitly kind of you know, I don't want to say the word approve because it sounds condescending, but like have him put a stamp on it, be like, this is my apology for being in that and for not taking this seriously and for being uh you know denigrating earlier in my, you know, 20 years ago, whatever it was now.
Yeah,
Like I feel like it's time. And I feel like we have the roster to do it. Like there I feel like if you really want to put your name out there as, you know, the alternative, a tasteful, if you want to call it that, you know, a storyline that involves in a major way the relationship between two men that isn't treated as anything but normal. You know, it's notable, but you know, it needs to be normalized. I think that's the next logical step, right?
yeah, I would think so.
Like I feel like there's only so much that, you know, having queer members on the roster can provide in terms of representation. They need to have the fullness of a human experience, at least as much as a wrestling context will allow for, um, in order to be, you know, normalized. The goal is normalization because it always should have been. But in order to do that, somebody needs to be the first, right? So AEW, I think, is fertile ground for that. I think we have the people to make it work. I think we have the people, you know, even if they were playing a role and like one of them wasn't actually gay, but they were playing the role, I still think that would be valuable,
Yeah,
you know, and maybe because I'm not part of that community, maybe my opinion is short-sighted or whatever. Feel free to tell me on Blue Sky. I would love, absolutely love to discuss this topic with people. I feel like it's long past due. I would love to hear your ideas in terms of that. Um, but I think the pieces are there, and it's long past time that we do this. Like this is the time. This is the time when we're trying so hard to distinguish ourselves from the rotten politics, sociopolitics of WWE. When is a better time to do it than right now?
Yeah,
Do it right now. It is absolutely the time.
yeah, agreed. Um,
Sorry, that was a tangent.
that said, next we have Adam Copeland in a backstage interview. Um, he talks a little about reflects a little bit about Christian Cage, but his apology wasn't wasn't an apology. He's still an asshole, et cetera, et cetera. But then he's like, but I have my hands full with FTR and Stokely, and he's like, now I know I can't get within 200 feet of FTR, but I can have a one-on-one match with Stokely because I can get close to him. So it looks like he's already talked to Tony Khan. And next week on Dynamite, we're going to have Copeland versus Stokely. And if FTR interferes, the restraining order becomes null and void.
I like this
I do
because
too.
there are stakes.
Yeah.
There are tangible stakes for this. Like, and I honestly, I mean, I imagine that they're probably going to have FTR get involved to null and void that. But I could see it going the other way and FTR like having some kind of big blow up with Stoke or, nope, thanks for taking one for the team. I ain't got no hoes. Like
Yeah. I don't have any hose.
that was that was so funny. I know it's not exactly PC, but he's like, I'm short, I'm bald, I've never had any hoes. I've been fighting my whole life. Oh my God. Like, what a line. What a line, Stoke. Oh no, I'm looking forward to Stoke versus Cope. I really am because it's gonna be short. It's gonna be good sports entertainment. It's gonna be good stuff.
Yeah. After that, here we get onto our tag team title eliminator tournament semifinal between
God,
Brodeo
this
and the Young Bucks.
rocked.
And the
This
match
frickin'
rocked, but we're going to
rocked.
talk about the entrances first because they passed a note to Justin and told him to read it verbatim, and he did.
Yep, he sure did.
And I don't have the
He
transcript
read
here
he
like I
read every word in the third person as if the Young Bucks were still actively talking to him. He read every punctuation
do.
mark.
Justin,
Uh,
exclamation mark. You will not treat us like jobbers, exclamation mark. Go out there and give us a good. He's like, oh, I was just like, dude, I was dying at the
yeah,
like just,
yeah. But
and
the
then
best part, that wasn't even the best part. The best part was they got their normal intro with the pyro and the proper thing,
they got
and then
nameplate
they
was
got
like
about
Max
halfway
and
down to the
Jeremy
ring.
or something.
Yeah, that is a deep cut.
That was them in TNA, right? They were called
Yeah, they were
Jeremy.
Generation
Oh,
Me. They were
oh,
Max and Jeremy Buck.
oh my god.
And so ultimate troll job by the guys in the truck. I absolutely died. Tracy could not understand why I was laughing so hard when we watched this. Like that's them in TNA 15 years ago. Oh, like that was that popped me huge.
The entrance
Popped me
alone was
huge.
awesome. The result even more awesome because I expected the Bucks to go over here. Uh,
See, I didn't think they would do heel heel in the finals.
I
That
didn't
was
I
my
didn't
thing.
know if they would, but AEW is the type of place that experiments like that. So
Yeah, but
I know they don't do that in
heel
WWE.
heel in the finals of a tournament to face heels is like that's a bit much.
Are the Hurt Syndicate heels?
They're
I believe
tweeners,
that's
but
an
they
arguable.
lean heel.
I lean, but I think it's an arguable point. I think it's more like a
Yeah.
Stone Cold heel than like
Yeah, they're anti-heroes, I
yeah.
guess.
People love them, and now that they're like broke, we'll talk about this in a second. Uh,
Yeah.
but this match was kick ass. Like Brody
Yeah.
and Dito are really a hell of a tag team. Like
And
they're
it didn't take
fun.
long for them to gel either. Like, what is it with AEW that allows for teams to gel so quickly? Them and Jet Speed, like all of a sudden they're like proper tag teams.
Like
And
they
it
was
took
never
a couple
met.
of
And in the
months.
case of Brody and Bandito, like we don't even speak the same language.
Yeah, yeah,
And still, I mean, it like Takeshi and Josh Alexander, like
yeah.
there's all these like really good, like randomly thrown together tag teams.
And it always works
Yeah,
somehow. It always works.
Brodito is just a hell of a tag team, and this match was just really fun, man. I had
There's
a
loads of false finishes too. Like they had me biting that hook a couple of times on the finish.
um, so yeah, but Brodito gets the win, and they're gonna advance, and so it's gonna be Brodito and FTR, which I think is probably gonna be a really good match. Uh,
Yeah, I mean it's FTR, so like you're like 2/3 of the way there, and
yeah,
then you've got a really good thrown together tag team like Brodito. I don't see how any reason why this shouldn't be another amazing tag team match.
yeah. Now
This is why I love tournaments.
the next thing was like a little video package about MJF and Mark Briscoe, and then talks about MJF going and winning the championship in CMLL. Now let me point of order this really quickly, because in that video package MJF referred to the belt that he was holding in his hands as the CMLL World Championship. That is not correct. um that may be what he wants to call it, and it is technically a world championship, I guess, but it is the CMLL Junior Heavyweight Championship.
It's light heavyweight, I think, right?
Uh,
I
what
think it's light heavyweight.
lighter junior, either way, but
Yeah, they do weight
this is
classes in
basically the
CMLL.
CMLL, cruiserweight title. Um, let's be like let's be real about what it is, guys. Come on,
Yeah.
everybody. Like, this is the first time I have ever seen them misrepresent what belt it was that they won on. I don't know.
Well, they did mention on air, Excalibur mentioned after this was when he gets to the main event later in the night, he's making his entrance and he's like he's calling it the world title, but it's he's kind of he didn't go so far as to say what the actual name of it was, but he likened it to when he rechristened the international title the American
The American.
Championship.
Oh, okay, so that's what
So
we're
he does
okay.
there is uh the reminder from Excalibur that he has a penchant for doing this to inflate
Okay.
his own
See,
ego.
I didn't hear that, and I'm sorry. Maybe it's because sometimes I tune out Xcolor. Um, and I
I
don't
mean, he
think
hits you
that's a
with so
hot
much.
take, guys. Okay, like I
I
don't.
like Excalibur,
Some
but
people
like
like him,
he
some
hits
people
you a
don't.
lot. He
I'm
hits you
not.
with a lot.
Yeah, he's a lot, man. Sometimes I just, sometimes like I don't know if I'm on the spectrum, but I do know I definitely get like sensory overload. And sometimes Excalibur is what gives me that sensory overload that just shuts everything out. And all I'm doing is watching the wrestling. I don't care what's being said.
Yeah.
And that happens. Like that used to happen a lot. He doesn't do it anymore. When he used to do those like 30-second reads for like the
Well,
whole
that you
part
should
of
blame
like the
Tony
next show
Khan.
or whatever.
You
When
gotta
he
blame
was
Tony
doing
Khan on now.
he was doing that, like I would seriously tune out almost the whole show's commentary, except for like Taz and Shivani. Like it was Taz and Shivani. Like Excalibur didn't exist at some points when he was doing that because it would overload me. Like just that 30 seconds, and I wouldn't even hear his voice anymore.
That's
And
too bad.
I mean, and that's
But yeah,
important. It's not
they
terrible
did
stuff,
mention. They
but
did
I
mention
just
it. They did, like I said, they didn't go so far as to actually give you the real name of the title, presumably because even though CMLL kind of treats like it's a little different in CMLL. They have kind of from what I understand anyway, what I've read, a couple things here and there, the whatever top belt, they don't really have like an established top belt. Like they have a few weight divisions, and then they have the tag belts, and then they have the trios belts. And right now, because Mystico is one of the trios title holders, the trios title is seen as the main belt.
okay. Okay.
So it's like
Their main
it,
belt rotates, is what it is.
yes, based on who's holding it. So
Okay.
you could be the world heavyweight champion, and it means something different there because it's looked at more of a weight class than
Yeah.
it is as the company belt.
Yeah.
So with this world light heavyweight title belt, I mean it's a big enough promotion with a decent enough history that you could absolutely slap the world title status on it if you wished, and you could probably get away with it, which why they're doing what they're doing. I mean, this doesn't hurt to butter up CMLL as your business partner either. By referring to it as such. But I think it's that being said, by telling the audience what it really is because of the American misconception of what a light heavyweight title is or junior heavyweight title or whatever, cruiserweight, they're automatically going to see it as lesser.
Mhm.
So you just mention it that he changed the name without, going so far as to name it actually. And you kind of get the best of both worlds, I think is what they were.
Yeah. Well, they can't. I mean, they obviously can't take another company's belt and pull the full thing like they did with their own, where they,
No,
gave it the American flag strap and all that.
no.
Like if they did that that'd be a lot worse than Heat. I'm
Mhm.
sure. So,
Yeah, I don't think he'd be able to step back in Mexico
maybe not. And
until he dropped that
that
belt.
relationship would be smoked.
He would drop the belt at Forbidden Door
Yeah.
because he wouldn't be able to get
You-
into
you
Mexico to
won't come in.
drop it.
Yeah.
He would need to drop it beforehand before they would let him back in.
Now this little video package with MJF kind of kicks us off on a run of video packages and
Video after video after
yeah,
video after
video
video. Yeah.
and interviews and all that stuff. We only have one more match in the show,
Yep.
which is weird to me. But they've been doing this a lot more lately, where they're including more story,
Yep.
less wrestling. But the wrestling is
Collision's the wrestling show, and
Collision's the
Dynamite
wrestling
is
show,
the
Dynamite
Angle
Story show.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so next we've got MJF coming to talk to MVP and the Hurt Syndicate. He shows up. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin immediately excuse themselves. Bad sign.
Yep.
Then MVP basically just tells MJF, like, hey, here's your third thumbs down. You're out. And he tells him, I really do love you, but I hope you fail at trying to get the world title, because if you get it, Bobby Lashley is coming for you, and it's gonna be personal, not business.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see anything more than that right now. I know we have a long way to go before MJF eventually does get his hands back on that title. But I absolutely want to see Bobby Lashley tear him limb from limb for 30 minutes or so. Then I need somebody to almost immediately beat Bobby Lashley for that title, or I need to see a beaten and broken MJF squeeze out a win somehow and then move on into someone else in the program, because I don't really want Bobby Lashley to be world champion.
No.
But I do want to see him hurt MJF. So, come see.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah, yeah, 6-1 half tomato, tomato. No tomato.
Um,
Um,
but no, I liked how they handled this here because they cleared up some of the questions that were left over from last week when it was just Shelton.
yeah,
And MVP kind of laid it all out, not only why he was kicked out, but why they were letting him go unscathed
yeah,
too. Basically, because look, I still have sway enough with these guys, basically, so that they won't hurt you on the way out. That's my gift to you as your kind of mentor, big brother figure. That's how we're gonna leave it there. Which is, it's not satisfying because I want to see them hurt him, but uh, but it is a logical explanation. It is one that makes sense. It is one that leaves the door open for a future program involving these guys. It also leaves the door open for this to be a swerve. You
yeah,
know, it could
yeah,
be. You never know. Or maybe not so much a swerve, but like it's now been established by Adam Copeland that not only do they hurt people, they will do it for money.
yeah.
So MJF could still use them even though he's not a part of the group. He could still use them to win the world title by having them beat down Hangman in a just business type fashion, and this opens that up. I mean, can you imagine how Bobby Lashley especially would feel accepting his money to help somebody else that he hates win the world title that he wants?
but MVP stops him from kiboshing
Exact.
everything because it's
Yeah,
physical.
but you can you imagine just the hate simmering on his
Oh,
face?
dude, God,
Like,
Bobby Lashley has such a hateful look on his face when he looks hateful too, man.
which is so weird when
A
because
burning
like he
soul.
looks like a giant baby. Like an actual baby with his face.
You know what he
So like
reminds me of? What Bobby when Squidward got the face job.
yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what Bobby Lashley
Oh, I mean, he is a handsome man. What can I say?
does.
Uh,
Okay, so after
but
that we have FTR and Big Stokely
yep,
responding back to
answering the challenge. We
uh
already kind of went over this with the host. Uh,
uh
uh, they accept and they say that,
this is instance one of two where I was like, Dax, holy shit.
yeah,
Because
yeah, this was
yeah,
not what we're used to from Dax.
yeah, the one on Collision we'll talk about, but this one, holy crap, like he said, what was it? Beth has a head of a micro brawler and his kids are future juvenile delinquents. Like,
Yeah,
damn, like you have literally whooped
leaning
somebody's
in.
ass for saying lesser shit about your kid. I've
Yep,
watched you do it. Like,
and and then and then on Collision he'll go further
oh yeah, yeah. Well,
along those same lines.
yeah, along
But
those
yeah,
talk about it.
ba- basically Stokes says that he's been fighting his whole life and he's not scared, and that not to underestimate him next week. So I'm sure there will be shenanigans. It'll be great. It'll be good fun. Uh, then there was a video package. I think the Okada and Swerve one was
Yeah,
next,
Swerve
right?
and Okada video package, and then we see Renee Paquette with Swerve.
Yeah,
He's a company, or they're on the entrance ramp. Swerve comes out, crowd pops. Of course they do. Prince Nana comes out with him, and he's just out there to talk about his upcoming match against Okada for the Unified Championship at Forbidden Door. Dear God, please let him win this fucking belt. I am so tired
yeah,
of Okada being the Unified Champion. I need this to be over. He has done like nothing. Like he's had some great feuds, but nothing has been about this title. Like it's almost like it doesn't even exist. And Don Callis still saying like, "Oh, he's got 3 belts now." No, he has 1 belt.
yeah,
He has 1 belt.
yeah.
Unless we are separating the Continental Championship into just a
Yeah,
yearly.
what's the point of unifying them if you're not going to
Yeah, if you're
unify
going
them?
to still have 3 belts instead of one, why did we even unify the two? Like, why didn't he just keep rolling with the two? Like, it's dumb. Like,
Yeah, I don't like it.
Tony Khan has an obsession with belts and belt collections. Like, I have
I mean, I can't really blame him for that. I like belts too,
I
but
like belts
okay.
too, but I like them on my wall, not 600 on each of my
I
wrestling.
like him right here.
Like yeah,
Right around the waist, brother.
yeah. Like how? Remember when we all had like we were like, oh, we all got a Sting action figure, and we all had like 7 little plastic titles, and Sting had them all. And look
Yep.
how ridiculous he looked with those 7 titles hanging off of Mercedes. Anyway,
But that was a great bit with Audrey, though, right?
that was a
It
great bit.
was she kept taking off each individual
And
belt, and
yeah,
Audrey
Austin's just
has
like,
to go down to
what the hell
one
is
knee.
he doing with this?
Each successive belt Audrey has to hold for her just brings her closer and closer to the mat because they're all so heavy. What a great bit! I
That was
loved it.
yeah.
I love that bit of shtick. That's
Uh,
very much up my alley.
so yeah, so
Uh,
we're just goes on. He's talking about Okada. We really haven't um the across any new territory here.
no,
This is
not
basically
really.
just kind of he's putting over this match. He's trying to bring some interest for Forbidden Door. I don't think we have to bring too much interest. If you're an AEW fan, you're ready to watch Forbidden Door. I know I am.
Yeah,
You're ready to see Swerve versus Okada. I know I am.
yeah, I'm looking forward to
I
that.
think I mean like I don't like what Okada's done with that belt, but this match is gonna be
Yeah,
a
big
fucking
match,
sick house,
big
dude.
match. Kazu's back, baby.
Yeah. Big Match
Like,
Kazu's back and he's fighting Swerve Strickland and it's gonna be a fucking shit show, dude. Like in the best way possible. Like now
yeah,
when I like
definitely.
like you gotta understand, guys, when I say things like it's gonna be awful or it's gonna be a shit show, I mean it's going to be like the best possible thing it can be. Because you tell me Hangman Swerve in the cage wasn't a shit show. It was a shit show. It was
Yeah,
the
it was
best
dinner and a
fucking
shit
shit
show.
show. I don't think Okada's gonna take a needle to the cheek, but I I wouldn't be surprised if we got a cinder block thrown at him or something. So uh
There was one thing about this promo that stuck out to me.
nah.
Apparently, uh, they're going to be continuing to adopt the Continental title rules. It was implied by Swerve in this promo that there was not going to be any interference. You have to assume that that there's going to be probably the 20-minute time limit on there as well then. So like I think this is going to be under Continental title rules, which means that there is going to be, I wouldn't necessarily guarantee a clean finish. There's always the opportunity for, Okada to hit him with a low blow behind the referee's back or something like that, but there won't be outside interference, which is interesting. And I dig it.
Uh,
So I thought that was a nice little touch that he put on there. Because I was wondering if they were going to adopt those rules because nothing had ever been explicitly stated. But it looks like they are going to go with that. So that's cool. I like that. It gives it honestly like a time limit and a hard no interference policy. I always thought was a little bit of character, but kind of a halfway measure. But at least it's something, you know, something to distinguish it.
then we
Uh,
had Alicia 2 backstage with Mark Briscoe, and then going on about MJF, kind of the same thing we've been getting for the past few things before this match that's coming up. And then Hangman shows up and dangles the fuck out that carrot in front of us, doesn't he?
yes, he sure does. All the while putting over Mark Briscoe's non-toxic positive masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. You'll love to see it.
So yeah, he basically just dangled the carrot about Mark Briscoe challenging for the world championship, which is something we all want to see. Work it the fuck out, Tony. Okay, like I
Yeah.
want to see it, man. Uh,
And then the last
ROH
one
world
is,
title was not enough. This man needs more respect. Put some more fucking respect on Mark Briscoe's name.
especially when he lost it to Chris Jericho of all people.
Yeah,
Um,
he's here week in, week out, busting his ass with the company. And where the hell is Jericho?
I'm okay with him not showing up
I mean,
because the company has gotten
yeah.
better.
Don't take that as me saying he needs to show up because your God, we know. But
Yeah.
um,
I don't miss him quite enough yet.
yeah, I don't miss him enough for him to come
I
back.
don't miss him
I don't
enough to
miss him
bring
enough
back.
for him to ever come back unless we're gonna have a Lucha de Puesta.
Yeah. No, I would love to see them just shave his head. That would be fun. I
Uh,
like that. I like that idea.
I would like Chris Jericho to return to have a Lucha de Puesta with Beast Mortos. We know
Yes.
we know sure as fuck that fucking goat mask
Nope.
is not coming off.
Nope. There's
So
only one person that mask comes off for, and that's Mercedes Moné.
yeah, apparently, if it comes,
uh,
I mean, she might like the mask.
she might be into it.
Might be.
And you know what? We're not here to kink
Yeah,
shame.
I'm not here to
So
kink shame at all. Not at all. Not at all. I'm a weird fucker too. So anyway, yeah,
anyway, last one is Queen Aminata. And she's there with Willow, who says she has her back, but then Chris Statlander comes out of nowhere and is
was full petty
uh
mayonnaise.
yeah, she's like completely unhinged now, just throwing paper
Yeah, confetti
everywhere.
and running
And like
away, and
I don't understand what's going on.
I don't either.
I hope to get some clarification pretty soon because it's not to the point where it's annoying. It's not annoying. I'm just confused.
Yeah,
I'm very
it's
confused.
real. I don't know.
Like, is this like a cry for help deal where like Statlander's like, please accept me back, and Willow will finally like just get over it.
I
Please,
don't
Willow,
know.
just get over it.
I don't know.
Like, I love you, Willow, but get over it.
Is there a
Like,
way to say somebody's gone off their hinges than having them act like Rip Taylor? Um,
I don't know.
I don't know. So I mean, here we go. Willow did kind of say, "Gotta get over it," though. She's like, "I mean, I ain't hearing your bull crap unless you want to fight it out." Basically,
No, what I mean is Willow needs to get over it. Stat is trying. Stat was trying to patch things up. Willow needs to be the one to get over it. Like,
mm,
look what it's doing to her. The guilt is and the lack of resolution is throwing Chris Stanlander. I mean, she was an alien before, and now she's in outer space.
well,
Like,
that's her own fault. You kicked your best friend while she was already down.
but I'm just saying, she's tried to make up for it. She's tried to. She's gone out of her way to try to patch things up. And no, she's not owed that. but like you can at a certain point, it's like Willow. You can see what it's doing to her. You know that these feelings are real. You know that she is absolutely, 100% contrite about this.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Throw her a bone. Like,
fortunately for the lizard part of my brain, this is wrestling, and that means they're gonna have to fight it out. So,
yeah. I hope Willow wins this time though,
yeah, I do
because
too.
she hasn't picked up a win against Stat
No.
during this whole thing.
Uh,
So
so yeah. So then after this weird promo, we have our main event, the Mark Briscoe MJF grudge match. And all the way up until the end, it was pretty much as advertised.
yeah, the story here was Briscoe
And
was trying to hit the Jade Driller at every opportunity.
every opportunity. If he got any opportunity to do so, he was trying to do it. That did kind of put him at a disadvantage in a couple of places, which did give MJF the upper hand. But really solid work on both of their parts.
For sure. And they
All,
really stretched the rules in terms of what should be allowed in a normal standard match
that's
too.
true. That's true.
I mean, Briscoe went through a table on the outside from the top rope with a froggy bow that MJF rolled away from. So like, oof baboof.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that to yourself, Mark? Please, we love you. Don't do that to yourself.
But that froggy bow, did open up Briscoe to take a heat seeker, and so he takes the L. Um,
But the foot was on the rope. Foot was on
that
the rope. So
See,
there's
this is where we're going
intrigue.
to continue this and why he's probably
Intrigue.
going to get a shot. So yeah, the foot was on the rope. Bryce Remsburg scooted forward right before that last count. Like you can see, he
Yep.
scoots forward just enough to not see it.
Hmm.
Good on him.
Great position.
Yeah,
Great
great
positioning.
for that. Yeah,
Bryce is so good at his
he
job.
is. So yeah, the foot was on the rope, so it was kind of a controversial finish. Afterwards, MJF uh continues to beat on Briscoe,
Yep.
and then
Bust
at
him open with the
so
ring.
yeah, he busts him open with the diamond ring. But then Hangman intervenes, um, including like checking on Briscoe in the middle of the fight because
Yeah,
that's Hanger for you.
that is Hanger for you. Not only is he a good person, but he does not fear MJF. He's
Yeah,
willing to turn his back on MJF. He's like, I don't care about you. I'm not afraid of you.
yeah,
But you know who is afraid? MJF, who booked it all the way up the ramp.
yeah. MJF books it. That's how we kind of close out the night. And Dynamite was good this week, man. It was really fast paced. Once again, didn't feel like it was 2 hours of wrestling. Sometimes,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the only thing. Sometimes it goes by so fast because it's so good that I feel gypped because I don't feel like I got 2 hours of wrestling.
right. Yeah. But no, this was, I mean, another good Dynamite that moved stories along. Uh, weirdly in the middle, uh, video and interview heavy. Kind of strange there, but like it was bookended by some really, really solid stuff. Like all the matches were great. Not a single match didn't deliver. Like, I mean, I think every single one of those was at least a 4-star match.
Yeah,
Honestly, like everything delivered.
yeah, they were all,
Um, which is, I mean, ideal world, that's what you want. If you're gonna have only 4 or 5 matches on a card, you want them all to be great. So,
yeah,
like the more matches are on the card, the more you can forgive.
fair. Yeah,
Which, I mean, takes us into Collision, which had like 6 or 7 matches, and not all of them were like super great.
yeah,
But it was still a good show. We'll get into that. And this was from Roanoke, Virginia, Hangman Country.
yeah,
Yeah, so you know that, I mean, it, normally Hanger doesn't really show up on Collision all that much. The world champion tends not to. Usually that's like a Dynamite only thing. But if they were going to be in Virginia, you knew you had to have Hanger on the card.
oh
So
yeah,
he
of
was in the
course.
main event in a trios match. Uh, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
Uh, the opener though.
Oh man,
Oh lordy, this match was awesome. This match was fantastic. Tomohiro Ishii facing Kyle Fletcher as his first challenger for the TNT title. This was nothing but elbows, brainbusters, headbutts. Like it was incredible. Like you can tell that these two must have worked. I'm not super familiar with you know Aussie Open's tenure in New Japan, but I have a feeling that these guys must have worked each other a lot when they were in New Japan together because they had just off the wall chemistry with one another. It's kind of insane. Like you see Tomohiro Ishii, who's as I've described before, he's just like an angry sentient bowling ball who's constantly just stoic but mad about everything, and only about 5'9" or so. And then you got 6'4", 6'5" Kyle Fletcher, who's like who looks like he's carved out of marble, and like it definitely has like Legend Killer vibe, Randy Orton vibes going on. Like
Yeah.
this seems on paper like would be a complete mismatch, but it ruled. It absolutely kicked so much ass. I love Tomohiro Ishii. Kyle Fletcher is still somehow improving week after week.
I have never seen Ishii do these. Like I've always he does the chop things. He
Yep.
bowls people over. He does the no sell real good. He's got the thick neck.
Yeah.
Never seen him do sequences like this.
Yeah. Like
And for
these.
Kyle Fletcher to be the guy that brings out these kind of sequences out of Ishii, but it was all like especially the one where they were just doing avoidance, that whole like
Yeah.
avoidance one. I was just like, oh man, this is great.
Yeah.
Like,
Like even
oh
at his age for him to be able to move like that is
yeah,
so impressive. I mean, they build him different over in Japan.
yeah,
That dojo they got builds warriors.
yeah,
They just build them from the ground up. And Ishii is absolutely a great example of that. So many Fletcher takes two inside out bumps off of lariats in this match.
yeah,
Like it's crazy. And then there was the one headbutt from Ishii where he just either in the corner and he just jumps straight into him
yeah. Just like ah,
like a freaking rocket
and then
right into
falls on
Kyle
top.
Fletcher's face. It was
Yeah,
awesome. Oh, everything about this match was fantastic.
yeah,
Uh, it was a battle of the brain busters. They both went for it early and often. But the only one or no, Ishii did hit one at one point, I'm pretty sure. But um I think it was like he couldn't make the cover in time or something like that.
yeah,
And they got up and did something else. They didn't even go for the cover of the attempted pin. But it was a brainbuster by Fletcher that stopped Ishii at about what, maybe the 18-minute mark, something like that. Like it was 17, 18 minutes long. Something. It had at least one commercial break. I think it might have had two.
yeah,
But like this was you couldn't have asked for a better first defense
yeah.
from Kyle Fletcher of this belt. And like every time he does this, it's going to raise the stock of that title even more.
Hmm.
Like, we discussed this last week. I was very open about how the TNT title, after initially in its inception, since there was no other competition, it was automatically the secondary title. But over the course of the several past years, the dilution of the mid card title scene with so many mid card titles has put TNT title kind of at dead last. And now this thing feels really important between Dustin Rhodes with the 2 weeks, the 2 weeks that he held it.
Yeah,
Think about that. He did more for that belt in 2 weeks, well, 3 weeks, in 3 weeks than most people have been able to do with that belt in the last year. And now with Kyle having defenses like this right out the gate, the TNT title is going to start to mean something again,
yeah.
and I'm here for it.
So after the match, Fletcher picks up his win. After the match, he basically gets on the mic and challenges New Japan to send their heaviest hitter to face him for the TNT Championship at Forbidden Door. I don't think we figured out who that was going to be yet.
No, they haven't given
Uh,
any indication of who it might be.
yeah.
Uh,
Directly
I
after this, we had a Don Callis promo where he kind of echoed that same exact sentiment, like, New Japan needs to send their best guy over here to face Fletcher. Um, and we know it's not going to be ZSJ, so
yeah,
Gabe
yeah.
Kidd?
No, no, it's gonna be a baby face. Um,
Hopefully not Tanahashi, but God,
Uh
Let that old man retire, please.
he I feel like Tanahashi needs to show up at the pay-per-view, but I don't think he should wrestle. That like he doesn't need to wrestle.
No, he needs to stop.
Like let the old man and his awful knees take care of themselves. Um, you've done enough, Tana. You're the ace forever, forever, forever. Now, go enjoy your retirement.
Yeah, go drive into the
You
sunset.
still get to be in charge of the promotion.
Yeah,
That's not nothing. Um, I think you know I don't have the knowledge of New Japan's roster to really make a really good guess about who it could be. I mean, my heart wants it to be Minoru Suzuki, but every time he's in AEW, he's portrayed as a heel. So I
yeah.
don't know if that's gonna work. Um, I would absolutely love to see him. Like if he had that match with Ishii, I guarantee he'd have a similar kind of match against the Murder Grandpa for sure.
Probably.
Um, I just hope it's not somebody like Evil, like ugh,
Uh,
God,
that match from like yesterday or whatever.
or Great O'Khan or somebody
That
grody
that
like
evil
that.
match that they were hyping up real bad, that was like from yesterday or day before or something like that. It was bad. It was bad.
Because Evil's bad.
It was bad, bad.
He's a bad wrestler. Like he's not a good wrestler. He's not. And
So
like from what little I understand about New Japan, you know, uh, uh faction dynamics, everybody hates House of Torture.
yeah.
Literally nobody likes House of Torture. And that's the stable that Evil leads. Because all that happens is interference in every single match when that's not New Japan's normal style. Like I get what you're trying to do, but like maybe, read your audience. I don't know.
So after the Don Callis promo, we have an announcement that on Dynamite this Wednesday, we're going to have a four-way qualifier between Hechicero, Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty, and Nigel. And the winner will go to Forbidden Door to face Zack Sabre Jr.
I'm
Pretty
so
sure it's going to
excited
be
for this.
Nigel, right? Like,
It's got to be Nigel.
it's got to be
It's
Nigel.
got to be
Right?
Nigel. It's in
Like,
the O2.
yeah,
It's in the
Nigel
O2
versus
in London.
SJ
It's
at the
got to be
O2.
Nigel.
Yeah, like, come on.
It's
Come
got to
on.
be. Come on.
Come on.
If I had to guess, he's beating Garcia.
Yeah.
He,
Uh,
he he's probably going to beat Garcia so that they can kind of further Garcia's tension with him. Echicero's not going to take the pin because he's got a world title, ROH world title match coming up. Lee Moriarty, they might do it, but then you might have to give Nigel another shot at the pure title in response. I think the safest bet is Garcia because beating him wins you the match, but it doesn't necessarily do anything bad for Garcia or
yeah.
put him on the hook for anything,
Yeah.
you know?
After that, we have GOA and Ricochet backstage beating up the literal most pathetic security guards I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my Lord.
This whole like 3 or 4 minutes was completely unnecessary. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah,
I
it was to remind us that Ricochet and Gates Magny are a thing.
yeah, pretty much. And it
That,
was
that's kind
kind
of
of
it.
dumb. Like it was a really dumb version of that too. Like I've seen
Yeah. They were you know
we've
what they were
watched this in like
doing is
30 years. Tons of
they
these.
were doing Lance Archer's gimmick, but not as well.
Yeah. And then all the guys like actually talking, like, what was with help? Please don't do this. Oh, hey guys, come on, stop, stop. These guys aren't supposed to talk. Shut up. Take your ass meeting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
then we're back on the anti-patriarchy train with Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian and Mama Wayne. Um, really enjoying that Kip Sabian is getting more mic time.
Absolutely. He's a good promo.
He is a good promo and he has a very soothing voice. Like he has one of those really smooth British accents that's like super soothing. It's
Yeah,
almost
I can see why
like
percent by
ASMR
why
overnight.
Penelope went for
I
him.
if he talk like that, if he talks to me like that in person, I might also take off my underwear. So, uh,
uh but yeah, no, it's very uh it's nice to see them keeping this going.
Yeah,
Based, I'm not sure exactly where it is. It's funny because like Christian Cage and Adam Copeland seem to be on a collision course with both FTR and the former patriarchy.
yeah.
So I don't know, like, and
I mean,
they seem to be content to keep those two groups separate from each other. So I don't know what exactly is happening and which one is going first or
I know what's happening.
oh,
This is Edge and Christian, dude. There's only one logical conclusion to the situation. That's a three-way TLC match.
that, I mean,
I mean, tell me
yeah,
I'm
but with
fucking lying, all right? Like,
so are you predicting that FTR wins the tag belts from the Hurt Syndicate
I'm
then?
predicting the FTR will win the tag belts from the Hurt Syndicate so that the Hurt Syndicate can go do other things in different storylines away from the tag team titles. I'm predicting that
Bold
after that, Edge and
prediction.
Christian will probably win the tag titles from FTR in a match with all three teams that may or may not involve a ladder.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that even though TLC is trademarked by WWE, the fact of the matter is there are no disqualifications in a ladder match.
Yeah,
So you can use chairs,
and
you can
table.
use tables without it being labeled as such. Everybody knows what it is. Call it a ladder match, call it a three-way ladder match, and have them use copious amounts of furniture.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
exactly.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Um, Now, see, after that promo, we had a very quick squash match between Megan Bain and Emily Rose. Um, I do not know who Emily Rose is, but I did listen to the commentary on this match and know that she is somebody who came to an AEW show and that made her want to be a wrestler. And so she has somehow, in the time AEW's been around, attended a show, started wrestling, and wrestled well enough to now be getting squashed by Megan Bain on a Virginia AEW.
Well, I mean, yeah, you
That's a
gotta
hell of
think.
a move in 5 years. That's a lot of people
Yeah,
ain't making that
six
move in
years.
5 years.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
she it says she went to a show in 2019 and that was her inspiration moment.
okay,
So
now
in
more
six
power
years,
to her. You know,
especially since two of those years were probably locked the F down due to COVID.
yeah.
So
But I mean, hey,
yeah,
cool. She did it. You know, awesome. Good for her. I don't got really anything else to say. It was a typical. I mean, she got squashed. What do I want? You know, what do
yeah,
I say about
yep,
it? Then we have a promo between with Big Bill and Brian Keith. They were pissed off at Juice,
yeah.
and instead of saying I'm going to walk in a straight line directly at you and put a foot in your ass, he says I'm going to rip your head off. Uh, I don't know. It just seemed janky. Like it seemed like he was headed right towards foot in his ass, and then went, "I'm
What
gonna
was
rip
with his
your head off." You
what
know,
was with his
like,
hair?
what?
His hair was all weird. What was with his
Yeah, I
hair?
don't. Got me, man. I don't know. I don't know what was going on here. All I know is that like I try to make sure I watch and enjoy these segments because Brian Keith's one of my state guys. So
Yeah.
if you're a Texan guy who has either worked with me or for one of my friends like Brian Keith has, I hope you do well. And so like I always want him to do better, but the, the oh what was it? There's too many damn lines. I love when he jumps in and says, "That's too many," whatever the subject is. Like, I
Yeah.
love that. I just love it. I don't know what it is about that, but I laugh every time he does that shit. And I did laugh.
It's so sudden
It
and
is. It is.
loud. It's like it's just 0 to 100 in less than a second. Like
I love Brian Keith for that, man.
yeah,
You know what? I really hope that like I don't want to see him break up with Big Bill. I like this tag team. I really hope one day we get Bandito and the Bounty Hunter as a tag team, or at least in
yeah,
kind of like partnership of some kind. I would
yeah.
love to see that because
But
Brian Keith, like,
Bandito, Brian Keith, Hangman, just do a whole cowboy
yeah, just a
stable.
whole, like, yeah, just like a whole Western theme thing. You get the Bang Bang Gang in there.
Yeah, why not?
No, but like the reason though is because
Call them the Rough Riders or something.
I've witnessed a lot of Brian Keith like as the bounty hunter, and that character is, if you can believe it, so much more vicious and mean than the Bad Apple is. The
And
bounty hunter is where his future should be.
yeah, and you can tell that they're trying to make you forget that Jericho is even like on the horizon coming back because they're tacitly implying that they're moving on from Jericho by having him revert back to the bounty hunter instead of the Bad Apple. Like this is like the third week in a row where he's been referred to as the bounty hunter
Yeah.
instead of the Bad Apple. So, and the Redwood hasn't been said at all in
No,
months.
no,
So,
they're leaving the tree references the hell out of it. So
yep,
we'll see how that goes. After that, we had Ricochet versus Juice, which was previously kind of announced on the show. Um, I really enjoy Juice as a wrestler. I really enjoyed their cardboard, like card blade and card cold,
yeah.
um, cardboard cutouts with the entrance. I like
I
that.
love how much Nigel loves them.
I do too. Uh,
Like he seems to have. Last week he had so much fun when they brought them out.
I
I don't think that he knew that they were going to do that, and they certainly didn't know that Austin was going to lay them next to the announce booth.
mhm.
So like you see, whenever the camera's on it, you see Nigel just messing around with it like a puppet or something like that, and it just makes me happy to see Nigel happy.
Yeah. Um, Now everybody wanted to see Juice Robinson beat up Ricochet. That's kind of what we wanted. Now, Tony Khan, of course, figured out a way to not have Juice Robinson beat up Ricochet by giving us plenty of crazy shenanigans to placate our need to not, to have a clean match of some kind. But so what's happened here is they're having a great match. Of course, GOA gets involved. Austin Gunn also getting involved, but there's two GOA and there's only one Austin Gunn. So, of course, they kind of already have the advantage. As they kind of further their advantage, though, Big Bill shows up and just crushes Juice,
Destroyed,
just
absolutely,
destroys him.
just
And that
yeah.
lets Ricochet get a spirit gun and catch the win. Um,
Oh, let's not gloss over the fact that Austin Gunn gets totally obliterated by Toa Leona with that pounce over the
Dude,
announce
good
table.
lord, man. He like poor Austin Gunn. Like sometimes I
That's my
wonder if that shit was
that's my
on purpose or involuntary.
that's my boy Toa though. That's my boy. Love that dude.
And I know for a fact that people that big, like Toa size,
Yeah.
can take you like off your feet very easily with their like just like with a shove. So a
Yep.
full on pounce, like there's no way he was prepared for that bump. Um,
The key to making the pounce look great like that is what Austin Gunn did. He jumped just before the contact so that when Toa lifts up his shoulder, he's lifting him further off the ground and launching him into the air further than by if he was just trying to get him from the ground.
yeah.
Like Austin, I feel the need to really put over Austin for how he took that as well. He made it look like $1 million.
So after that we had
But
Max.
yeah, Ricochet gets the win with the spirit gun.
Yeah. We have a little package recapping the recent Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, Billy Gunn stuff. I I don't know where they're going with this. Like, are we getting the acclaimed back as a heel tag
I
team?
I think Caster is very, very slowly turning baby face. And you'll
And
see
Bowens is
why
very slowly turning
later.
heel.
Less slowly, I think.
Mhm.
I think it's like halfway there already, whereas Caster is like inching his way towards it. Um, but yeah, I mean, because he was still kind of a jerk to who was it, Lexi? In the what was it, Lexi that was interviewing him, or was it Alicia? I think it was Lexi. He was still kind of a jerk to her backstage during this interview, but he was, as you'll see later in the show, he's showing signs of turning.
Yeah.
Um, which I mean, you kind of have to. The chant got over. People were cheering him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was ever the plan. It probably was, considering he was on TV every week. And there's only so many times you can beat a dude, so quickly every week before they're just going to get sympathy.
Yeah.
So my feeling is that they probably did eventually want to turn him. I don't know if it was as quick or faster or whatever, but yeah, I don't think they can really deny it. I don't think the crowd is gonna. They're not gonna let it go. This is basically what it is. And unlike some other places, Tony Khan is open to pivoting. So there it is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he says he doesn't need. He thanks AR Fox and Jesse for bailing him out against the LFI last week, but he doesn't need their help, and he's going to have another challenge tonight.
After that, we got FTR and Big Stoke against three people who have no idea who they are because they're local talent. They even get called local talent, which strike one. And we'll talk about this in a minute. But basically, it's basically a squash match, but it's to kind of warm Stokely up for his match with Copeland next week.
There
FTR
were,
are really hyping him up like during the match and then after in the segment that we'll talk about here in a second.
yeah,
I wonder if they're gonna let him out to dry, like if they're gonna hang him out to dry.
yeah, like it seems like they're,
Looking like they might be,
yeah.
yeah,
I will say there were two things in this match that stuck out to me. One was they tagged in Stoke at one point when one of the local guys was on the mat. He kicked him a couple of times, but as soon as he got to like a knee, it wasn't even to his feet, it was like a knee. He just hightails it back to the corner and tags in. I don't even remember if it was Cash or Dax, but tags one of them in. It's like, oh, that's great work right there. And then they they end the match with the spike pile driver, but Stokely's too scared to go to the top rope, so he has to go to the middle rope, which, if you ask any Bret Hart fan, is the best rope because it's
yeah.
Bret's rope.
Um,
But but like he has to he can't go all the way to the top. He's too scared, so he comes off the second rope, hits the spike pile driver, and gets the pin.
yeah.
They let him have
Um,
the pin.
the only thing that really bothered me about this match, because it was just kind of ridiculous and dumb little squash match, but one thing did bother me, and that is that there were three local talent guys, and one of them did not even get in the ring. Uh,
Yeah, that
I
sucks.
know happens sometimes, but that's such a fucking slap in the face. Like, don't do that, guy. Like, if you got a trios match, everybody
Work
deserves
everybody
the
in.
last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna be jobbing, at least work everybody in. Like, yeah, I don't know. Other than that, though, fun little time. But the way they're playing it, it look. I think FTR is gonna let him hang out to dry on this one. And then be like, "But we love you," or something. After that, we had Hechicero and AR Fox, which was
Too
probably my
short.
night, but way too short. Yeah, like there could have
These guys I wanted to see more of, but that
these
really
guys
wasn't
talent.
like it really wasn't the point of it. The thing that annoyed me was that AR Fox got the
The
preloaded
jobber
entrance.
entrance, yeah,
Yeah, that bugged me
that bugs.
because he's been getting his normal entrance and he's been highlighted on Collision specifically for the past couple of months, and he's been building momentum. And now you're giving him the J Brown entrance.
Yeah,
Like, come on, that's I. The only thing I will say that balanced it out was that Hechicero didn't get his awesome uh Don Callis entrance either. So,
yeah.
well, I don't think Don.
Well,
I
it's,
want to say Don Callis wasn't here.
I don't
Like,
think
I
it was.
think he
I
might
think
have.
the segment
I
earlier was a pre-tape.
pre I think so too because he didn't accompany any of his guys, and he's usually like the first person on
He wasn't on
commentary and the whole.
commentary or anything. Yeah,
Yeah, so like that's kind of his whole deal. So I don't think he was actually there tonight. And I did miss the poorly executed Spanish for Hechicero's entrance. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, this was okay. It could have been great if they had given it like 7 or 8 more minutes. Like I really feel like they could have really, really come up with something real special here, but I feel like it was just too short for them to really accomplish that. But even then, like this was to put over Hechicero leading into the technical spectacle
Yeah.
on Dynamite next week. So I mean it's fine. Um he tried to do the inverted monkey flip into the rear naked choke, but he wound up in more like a chin lock,
Yeah.
which I thought was weird. Like if you're gonna do that, that's fine, but could you at least call it a neck crank? So like chin lock has kind of a bad connotation because it's definitely seen as a rest hold.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you beat him with a chin lock? What? Nobody beats anybody with a chin lock. A chin lock is something Orton holds you in for 2 minutes while he catches his breath. You
Uh,
know, like I don't know. Like I feel like if they were to put over, if they had said like, oh man, like look what he can do even with a simple rear chin lock, then it would have been better. But it's like, oh, he's got a rear chin lock on him, and then he just taps, and it's like, oh man, I don't know if I really like that, but.
yeah.
Either way, my boy Echecero racking up some wins. I'm okay with that. I wish it wasn't at the expense of my other guy, AR Fox, but like everybody's my guy, and not everybody can win all the time. So
Yeah.
there it is.
Um, After that, we get a Harley Cameron vignette where she is been
Yes,
possessed by her cat mask and is like the mask.
sure. Why not?
Cool, I'll take it. Yeah, whatever.
If
Uh,
anybody can pull it off, it's her.
One, just glad to see her back on TV. Two,
Yeah,
though, they showed her all bandaged up and then only with the mask on. But we, Adam and I, actually just watched a video of her that she had to put out in like the last couple of days. She's
yeah,
totally fine, guys. Okay,
yeah.
like
She's totally
she's
fine.
fine. The surgery,
Yes, she is.
yeah, fair. The surgery didn't change her like a lot of
No,
people get when they have their face done like that. She looks just like she did when she was.
yeah, you would never know that she busted
You
her
never
nose
know she
open.
busted her shit up. After that, we have a women's trios match, our Triangle of Madness. Hate that name.
Me
Uh,
too. I was
is
speaking with my wife about it, and she's like, you know what? Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like those them spooky bitches, but like they need a better name. I'm like, you know what? Even calling them dem spooky bitches
them
would
spook.
be better than Triangle of Madness.
Oh God, yeah, it would. It would. Just the spooky bitches.
In fact, you know what? I'm not gonna call them that anymore. I'm gonna call them dem spooky
Them
bitches.
spooky bitches. Okay, cool. I'm with it. DSB. All right. So DSB versus Aminata, Ty Mello, and Willow Nightingale. Um,
Kind of an
this was
odd trio
really
there.
good. But the moment that stood out to me the most, like oddly enough, was just when Thekla, like, she's going in for that kill and
Yeah.
gets fucking pounced,
Yeah.
like
She just
just out
gets
of
thrown
nowhere.
all the way across the ring.
Yeah. I was like, this is great. But Thekla or Tekla. There's an
Yeah.
H in it. Stop it. Um, anyway, Tekla and Willow have some really good like chemistry. I need
Yeah.
to do Tekla and Willow. Like I
I
need
think,
more
yeah,
for
me
sure.
too. For sure. For sure. Um, but yeah, I think this was the right call though, having them spooky bitches pick up the win.
Yeah.
Uh, you're establishing them as an actual unit. Willow, Tymel, and Aminata are all great, but they were just thrown together.
Yeah.
Whereas, Sky Blue, Julia Hart, and Tekla are actually together as a unit. So you want to continue to establish them as a force in and of themselves. This is great. I mean, it was fun. It was pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
Uh, I like I love that Ty Mello is back. Like she has such a cool style with her judo inspired stuff. And she's the perfect the perfect mix for a pro wrestling character, a female pro wrestling character, where she's really really pretty. So you can market her based on her looks alone, but she will also destroy you between all the holds that she knows, between throwing you around the ring, between all the hardcore stuff. Her kicks are excellent. Like that pump kick in the corner looks brutal every single time. Like she like this is the kind of person that you could conceivably build the division around from a marketing perspective.
Mhm.
You know, she's got the look, she's got the skill. You know, unfortunately, she has the Sammy Guevara as well. But I mean, nobody's perfect.
Oh, all right. So that yeah, so the spooky bitches get the win. After that, we have a Skyflight vignette where they basically tell Don Callis that he needs a refund. Um, kind of further driving a wedge between Don Callis and uh Shane Taylor, which I still don't know how all this is going to work out or how all three of these groups are going to play off one another. I guess we'll see how it goes. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on right now. This is kind of on the back burner. I'd like to see it brought more to the forefront, especially with Skyflight, where
I
they've got.
do like how it's like as much as I don't really know what's going on, I do kind of like the fact that it seems like it's a more immersive kind of environment backstage, where just because you're in a program with one person doesn't mean that they're the only person that you interact with
Yeah.
for the
I like that.
duration of your feud,
Yeah.
you know? So like including Shane Taylor promotions, I like Shane Taylor. Like we discussed this last week. You know, I like the presentation of him. The infantry has really just they've been working their butts off, man. Like they've really paid their dues. I would like to see them have a little bit more success. Trisha Dora does not get as much in-ring time as she should. She's a very, very interesting wrestler with
Yeah.
a very unique style. And Anthony Ogogo was here this week too. Like it looks like he's like back. So like I mean, I he has been so inconsistent. I don't even know if he's improved at all because he's never around. So I'm interested in seeing if he's improved since 4 years ago when he had that thing with Cody. Like they've kept him on the books, so clearly they must see something in him. So I mean, I'm interested to see where they go with this for multiple reasons.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I just kind of want to see where it goes. I mean, obviously, we're gonna need a big group of people to fight the Don Gallows family when their big Avengers moment comes,
Yeah,
and Skyflight would make a good base. Just
yeah,
need about three more people. So that's a good base. Like Dem, Brodito, and Hanger. There we go. There's our anti Don Callis league.
yeah.
So after that, we've got FTR and Stokely. FTR gassing Stokely up again. Um, Hoenoke, guys.
I chuckled.
I chuckled a little bit, but I'm also like, somebody's gonna be mad they said ho so many times.
Oh, don't worry. Stokes gonna get absolutely demolished by Copeland.
Oh yeah,
Even if he
that's definitely happening.
like, I mean, it's okay. It's okay to wind him up as long as you're gonna pay it off in a
Yeah.
satisfying way. That's fine.
Um, the big turnout from this little promo right here, though, is Dax saying, "Forget my ugly wife, forget my brat daughter. The most important thing in my life is the AEW World Tag Team Championship."
Which is a complete 180 from his
Complete
character as
wedding. I don't care
presented
about those
up
titles.
to this point.
Yeah. Holy.
Like
I was just like,
it's it's like I couldn't believe that it came out of Dax's mouth.
I couldn't either.
Like holy, like this is his whole thing. This is what people make fun of him for, is that the only things that he cares about are his legacy and his family. Like
Yeah.
this, and like he's like, forget him. He like went full on Christian Cage. I'm gonna rat you out to security because you're here. Where's your mom?
Yeah.
Like he went full on. I'm like, whoa. I did not expect Dax to go there, but I like
I mean, yeah,
it.
still, like, holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah. So top guys out on that one.
Top guys out.
And then
Yeah.
we get to Max Caster's latest open challenge. He comes out, he's doing the chant, the chant's over. He seems to be enjoying that it's over at this point.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what
He
I
didn't really
alluded
cut
to
him off.
earlier. He
So
said what he said about the chant, you know, in prior challenges to this
Better.
is that, oh, he made every excuse in the book to say that they were doing it wrong or they weren't doing it fast enough, blah blah blah. And this time he says that chant was better.
Yeah.
That
But then
little tiny thing is like, oh, I see what you're doing here. I see where this is going.
but
Max
then
is going to be a baby face soon enough.
if he didn't get his baby face kicked off, which we'll find out because his answer of the challenge is Katsuyori Shibata,
Yeah,
who, if
yeah,
there's anybody who hasn't kicked Max Caster's ass yet back there, there's one of them, you know.
yep,
Um, so Shibata just basically picks him apart.
yeah. He just wallops
Just
him.
yeah, tears him a new asshole big enough for that turkey leg. Uh,
But
and
but
then
afterwards,
yeah, shakes
dude
his
raises
hand,
his hand.
raises his hand for the
See,
hand, and raises.
more face turn evidence.
Yeah, but then LFI hits the ring to attack them.
Yep.
And they start beating down everybody. But then in the actual funniest moment of this week's wrestling, Kevin Knight and Speedball hit the ring. Now Speedball's got like a board with barbed wire wrapped around it, but Kevin Knight has a hockey stick. And the
Yep.
head of it is wrapped in barbed wire. And I'm just like, wait a minute. First of all,
The board wasn't
oh,
even it wasn't even barbed wire. It was a chain that was
oh,
wrapped around the board.
I think they might have accidentally picked up each other's weapons, and that's why I thought
Yeah.
it was so funny because a hockey stick with barbed wire wrapped around it
Oh
totally
yeah,
like
that's
something a
totally the
Canadian
Canadian
would
guy.
so
Yeah.
that's speedballs. And the chain wrapped around a board. I mean, that sounds like something you could pick up on the back streets of wherever Kevin Knight's from. Um, so
Yeah.
it just I was like, oh my God, like he's got this hockey stick. Like they completely just like they were running from Gorilla because they were like talking or something and didn't realize that it was like time. And they just picked
Yeah.
the wrong weapons on the way out. And that's all I could imagine. Like, so in my head canon, that's how it happened. And that made me laugh like so fucking hard.
I
Uh,
like it. I like it.
but
Headcanon accepted.
yeah, they come in, they run off LFI for just a minute, though, because LFI is in the next match, which is the main event, but so are Jet Speed, and they're teamed up with Hangman. So we go to break, we come back from break, and the only person who gets his entrance is Hangman.
But what a pop he
Oh, but what a
got.
pop, dude. Yeah.
My goodness.
Definitely over at the home for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but then we proceed to have we have two kind of high flyers with Hangman versus three of like a high flyer and two of the hardest hitters, not in AEW, in the business.
Yeah.
Roosh and Beast Mortos are two of like the top five strikers in wrestling. And
And honestly,
Mortos is
I
like
still think
Roosh if
mm,
him and Dralistico had a baby. He's
yeah.
mean and
Yep.
tough and big and can strike, but he can also fly and flip and all that other shit.
Yeah. Mortos is an underrated flyer.
Yes, he is.
He absolutely is.
But this match was a good fucking time, man.
Yeah, it really was. It
Really
was a
good
lot of
time
fun.
with that.
I loved the moment where Hanger and Roosh get in there for the first time. It's like, ooh. Like I said this on as a response to somebody's Blue Sky post earlier today, but like because of the way Roosh presents his character and the way that he goes about performing in the ring, he he may not have the win-loss record to kind of back it up, but like he immediately feels like a threat no matter where you put him on the card, no matter who you put him up against. Doesn't matter. You can put him up against Big Bill, where he's got like a foot on him, and it's like, I'm taking Roosh. Like, that
Well,
dude is a bad man.
I know for my money, these two getting face to face, I was like, that is the
I'm
two most
okay with this.
that's the two most disgruntled motherfuckers in this promotion.
Yeah.
Who also simultaneously have like the best hair in the promotion too, both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So I was just like, this is great because this is a battle of two wonderful haircuts and two really disgruntled and mean,
And
like
they beat the
genuinely mean
hell out
motherfuckers.
of each other too.
Oh boy, didn't they?
Yeah,
What I
I really
expected, and I got what I expected for that.
I
I was so happy.
really want to see an extended program between Hanger and Rouge
I'm
now.
gonna need
Like
more.
I want more of that,
As
please.
long as he's not hurting people, I
Yeah,
need more Roosh. As soon as he
yeah,
starts hurting people, you can put him back on the show. But as long as he's not hurting anyone, I need more Roosh.
absolutely, 100%. Like I love his presentation and his intensity
Mhm.
is like second to none. Like
But he's got to
nobody.
go back to wearing the gold shit all the time. That ring, like you, dude, you look like a superstar in that shit. You
Oh
need to
my,
be wearing it
yeah,
every time you make an entrance, unless you're doing just the run in like this time. You need to be wearing that shit because he looks like a fucking superstar in that shit. And then you get
agreed.
in the ring and you back it up with superstar wrestling. I mean, literally, him and Hangman are like the perfect foils. They are good and bad of the exact same person.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
are. They're
kind of,
both
yeah.
just like genuinely mean, disgruntled, kind of depressive, bastardy individuals, but one of them's a face and one of them's a heel, And like, yeah, I mean, Hangman's personable and he's a nice guy and everything, outside of wrestling, but when he's in the ring, he's kind of a bastard. And I mean, ask Swerve Strickland if he's not a bastard. I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing. Like, yeah, he's a bit of a bastard. Like, so, but yeah, but so is Roosh. And so you put them both together, and
Yeah, I'm gonna need more of that.
I would love a bit of a
I need
bastard
more
off,
of that.
like a 30, 35-minute bastard off between these two guys at all out. Like, I'll
I
take it.
think the plan is to eventually move the trios belts to them. Uh, but honestly, and I'm okay with that. But honestly, I would prefer a pivot to an extended program between Hangar at this point.
I
Just from the preview we got from this match, I'm like, I need more of that.
I would
I'm
like
gonna need.
I would like them to pivot that. I would, but I would be interested in seeing them move the trio styles over to those guys. But I would also require like 6 months of them working the ops first.
Yeah,
Because I could do with that. Like I could
for sure.
Joe and Hobbs and Shibata versus these three guys for like 6 months. I'll take that
Yeah, me
all
too.
day long.
But I
Because
want
Hobbs is
give
also kind of a mean, disgruntled, bastardy dude who's the perfect foil for Rude.
has have we gotten Rouge
I don't
versus
know if we've
Hobbs
gotten
yet?
Roos versus Hobbs, but I need it now that I'm saying it.
Dude, the chops in that match. Oh,
I do that'd be fun.
pork chops, thick, meaty pork chops.
But that if he starts having a chop match with him in the middle of a trios match, Joe's going to have to get some of that. Like,
Well, yeah.
or Roosh is going to be outnumbered here.
But
Okay.
I mean, how do you build trios matches? You have singles matches with the guys in the trios.
Yeah.
Like,
Roosh is going to be like, no, I'm not facing all three of them because all three chop the shit out of me.
all right, Rouge can definitely
Oh, I'm sure he can
give as
take it.
well as he takes it.
God damn. Like, if you told me, hey, for the next 3 weeks, you're going to face all three members of the ops, I'd be like,
All right.
my chest is gonna be
Okay.
so fucking sore. Like Hobbs is gonna probably gonna chop me once, and my fucking sternum's gonna get broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still gonna have
And
to
the
do it
thing,
for the
but the
show.
thing is, Hobbs won't mean it, whereas Roosh will look to do that specifically.
Oh yeah, Roosh
That's the
definitely like
difference.
I feel like Roosh is the one person I feel like he means that shit when he hits you.
I feel like he's a legitimate psychopath.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, a little.
I think he's a sadistic psychopath. Like that's how much I believe in his character.
Yeah,
But yeah, this one was I mean, I didn't expect any different. They were gonna have the hometown world champion pick up the win here.
yeah,
Buckshot to Dralistico. At least it wasn't on my boy Mortos.
yeah,
Uh and that's it. Like that was I felt like I felt like Dynamite was a bit better than Collision.
yeah,
But like I'm never gonna like Collision had 8 matches. A couple of them were squashes. But like they're trying to get stories over in a different way on Dynamite than on Collision. Like Collision, they're doing mostly in-ring storytelling to move stuff along, whereas on Dynamite, there's certainly in-ring storytelling, but there's a lot more interviews. There's a lot more backstage promos, stuff like that. So like I feel like the two shows definitely have a distinct identities,
yeah. They
you
do.
know, which is good. If you're gonna have that much programming, please give them distinct identities.
Yeah. Give me 4 hours of distinctly different programming, which is what we get
Yeah.
pretty much week to week.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it. I love it. I love it. So
And I'm definitely stoked for next week.
yeah, me too.
Absolutely pumped. Like my biggest question is how is that four-way, the technical spectacle, going to work out? Because scientific wrestling works best in singles matches because the way that multi-man matches work, triple threats, four fatal fours, that kind of thing, is you have two guys paired off, and then the others are kind of outside the ring, kind of waiting their turn, and like
Yeah.
then they interrupt a pinfall or whatever. Right? That's the general structure of one of those matches. How do you do that with technical wrestling?
I don't know, but these guys are probably going to answer that question for you.
Like I am really looking forward to being educated in
Yeah.
that match.
Well, I
And
mean, Hechicero might not edge you. He might just beat the shit out of people. He might
I
not
mean,
even
he
go
had,
techers. He's
he's,
very capable, you know.
yeah,
So
he can do some high flying. He can hit you hard.
yeah,
Like he'll hit you hard.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm really excited for that match in particular, mostly because of the intrigue surrounding it. It's like I mean, I know the outcome is pretty much predetermined. It's got to be. There's
yeah,
no other real uh real option that makes sense as
yeah,
much as putting Nigel in the O2. You know,
yeah,
as putting two Brits against each other for a major world title in London. Like that's the thing. Of course, that makes the most sense. Of course, we do that. I want to see how the match itself plays out because there's never been this kind of four-way with a particular focus on technical wrestling, which in this case means lots of heavy strikes, but also lots of holds and
yeah,
reversals and counters. So I'm very interested to see how they make that work in the format of a fatal four-way.
yeah. All right. Well, I think there's only one thing left to do, man. Um,
Yeah, I think it's it's not what the amateurs do. It's we're
That's
not
true.
amateurs, right? It's what the pros do, right?
Yeah, we do what the pros do, and we call it in the ring.
Right, right. Of course.
Yes, sir. Now, so this week's call it in the ring segment. Um, we had a little struggle, kind of coming up with it, but then we had this carrying cross news that came out in the last couple of days, and so I decided um, that Adam and I would each pick three names of people. So here are the conditions. Um, AEW is suddenly the only wrestling promotion on the planet. Everybody else has closed their doors, and we are suddenly everyone is a free agent. There are no contract buyouts. There are no restrictions whatsoever. Everyone that is currently on a wrestling roster is no longer on a wrestling roster and are all free agents. So, out of the entire crop of everybody who is not in AEW, who would you bring to AEW? So, who do you want to see in AEW? You know, lots of good reasons why they would want to be there. Lots of good reasons why we would want to see them there. So, let's see, who we bring over. So Adam, who's your first one?
So the first person I'm going to pick is somebody who I've been advocating for a long time to come over, and I honestly don't know why he hasn't come over already. Um, Especially since he lives in Chicago and he's from Chicago and they do Chicago shows all the time. Mustafa Ali. I want to see Mustafa Ali in AEW because if you follow him on social media, it is incredibly evident that he is such a good person. Like he is an outstanding member of his community. He is, he's a progressive Muslim who absolutely adores his family. Like he takes pictures of them like all the time. He goes out of his way to go out of his way for fans, that request for things for him. He's obviously very talented in the ring as well, and he is the kind of person who you could really, especially in, speaking about what we were talking about earlier about leaning into the more progressive sociopolitics that AEW seems to be embracing, having somebody like that who is so openly you know, progressive like that would only help your brand in this case, I feel. Like, I mean, granted, I pitched it as to kind of provide the counterweight to WWE's MAGA leanings, but and in this case, MAGA wouldn't be there. But like your principles shouldn't change just because you don't have somebody to bounce them off of anymore.
Yeah.
So you keep going with it. I feel like Mustafa Ali could add not only to their in-ring presentation, but also to their backstage environment, and as a fantastic ambassador for not only the brand but also the art form. Like he was doing some pretty good work in TNA with this whole like kind of political character where he was like it was kind of reminiscent of what MJF did in his first crack at the world title when in Moxley's first reign where he was kind of like running for number one contender essentially. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that. But like, it's very tongue in cheek, he's very illusionary to, things that go on in American politics and stuff like that. So it's not like he's this guy who doesn't have creativity from a character standpoint either. He does. You got to let him go with let him have his ideas. I think that would make and stylistically he absolutely fits in with literally everybody. Like
Yeah.
there's nobody he couldn't have a good match with in AEW. So my first pick would be Mustafa Ali.
Um, my first pick, we have about a quarter of the women's division hurt right now. But I
Yeah.
also feel like, regardless of that, there's room in the women's division for um, strong work rate, people who deserve the respect that they would be issued in AEW, basically. And also someone who is a constant threat who deserves a world title because it keeps kind of getting away from them at this point. But my first move to AEW would be Natalia.
Ooh.
Now I know we're getting a little
Oh.
into the later years of her career, or maybe we are. But she's WWE kind of shed on her fucking career. All right, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
And
Just look at what she's doing in Bloodsport.
yeah, her work rate is exceptional. She's always been exceptional. I think AEW would play that up way more than WWE ever did. And to be perfectly honest, goddamn WWE for the way they treated her. Just goddamn them for that. Like,
Yeah.
I hate it.
Like it's yeah.
And so yeah, my first move right now, if I had a choice, yeah, Natalia, 100%.
That's a
Great,
good yeah.
she would be good against Tony or Athena. Good knowledge to pass along. Could work that division for years. Could win a few world titles. No
And
big.
she knows a lot of these women
Yeah,
too because of her work with what they call it the dungeon, right? The
yeah,
the kind of open gym that they have.
yeah.
But she's worked with a lot of these people before anyway, regardless of their relationship to WWE.
Mhm. So yeah, yeah, Natalia would be my first pick for sure.
That's a great first pick. I never would have guessed that. That's a great first pick though. I mean, and then afterwards she could serve as a coach.
Yeah,
And I mean
and a
her
producer and all
knowledge
kinds of
would
shit.
be invaluable as a coach and producer.
Yeah, and they already have a good relationship with her family.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I mean, they give honor to the Hearts as often as they possibly can. So
Yeah.
I think it'd probably just be another notch in the belt to have Natalia wrestle there.
Yeah. Um, for me, for my second pick, I would go. I would love to see a resurgence and kind of a reclamation of this person's reputation and legacy. And I think AEW, with their ties to New Japan, would really, really be the place for him to do that. And that's Shinsuke Nakamura.
Mm.
Because I remember Shinsuke in his prime. And that guy and the guy that came to NXT and just absolutely ruled over NXT. And even his first year on the main roster was great. And
Mhm.
then it was just years of wasted potential
Yeah.
and just not understanding what made the guy so special. And him, I think, in return, just coasting on the money.
Yeah.
Like, I want to give Nakamura a chance to reclaim the kind of performer that he was and the legacy that he crafted before he went to WWE and kind of like I wouldn't say he messed up his legacy necessarily. He's a Royal Rumble winner, multiple time US and Intercontinental champion, two-time NXT champion. I think he's a tag champ too. Like he's done pretty much everything but win a world title. But now he feels like he is for years, even from the outside looking in, felt so far away from that world title scene like it that it would somebody to bring up his name as a valid world title contender would be met with laughter. And I don't think that's befitting a man of his talent or stature or
No.
skill. Like it's just it makes me sad to see the kind of performer that he has the box that he's been put into, you know. Like
Yeah.
let him out. Let him be this weirdly charismatic, just killer, kicks people's faces in, and just like just let him be the Michael Jackson of professional wrestling, like he was. Like it was,
Mhm.
and instead they're just like they always do. They just water it down. They water it down until it doesn't mean anything anymore, and you can't even really understand what his character is about. Like in WWE, he's just a weirdo that loses all the time,
Yeah.
and it sucks. It sucks because I know I've seen it with my own eyes. I know Shinsuke Nakamura. That guy that's currently there is no Shinsuke
No,
Nakamura.
he's not. He's not at all.
So that would be my number two.
Alright. Um, I have a few. Let's see. Who would be the next? I have a list here of a few names. I'm not sure.
It's tough. There's so many options when you just completely delete WWE
Yeah.
as an entity. That's so much talent that's on the table.
You know, man, it's hard to like pick because there's like so many good like who would be a good person on this roster out of everybody else's roster.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
The problem too is that
I
we're in
don't
a
know what they
unique.
call him in TNA, but there are plenty of people in AEW who could use somebody to work a mic with them for them. And I think that Aiden English would be a good choice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know
There are.
he's parked in TNA right now. I don't know if he's doing anything.
He's doing commentary.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, he's at the desk.
Now, well, I would bring him off their commentary desk and make him somebody's manager.
I mean that it worked for Rusev.
Yeah, a
Absolutely.
non Don Callis heel. Um, I mean, he would be a great like foil type of manager for like MJF, but MJF doesn't really need somebody to work a stick for him. I'm
No.
trying to think of somebody who like a bad guy who can't really do a good promo.
Maybe somebody who English isn't necessarily their first language would
Yeah,
really
yeah,
benefit from that. Aiden, I'm going to teach you English.
yeah.
It could be his name.
And
Aiden,
like
I'm going to
maybe
teach
the
you.
stick guy for
English.
LFI.
Yeah, like they don't really have a guy who rocks the mic. Like
And
Roosh knows English.
he's used to dealing with like out of control monster type people also. So like
True,
yeah, he's
true.
got the experience. Um, they could just straight up be like he used to be Miro's manager, so he absolutely knows how to handle people like Roosh. You know, like
True.
oh yeah,
It's
I
true.
would probably bring Aiden English over just because. Well, I mean, one, I really am a big fan of his, but two, like that's a lot of talent to be parking it in TNA, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
no offense to TNA and all the people that are working there now, because their talent roster is a lot more stacked than it was last time I looked into them. But that's a lot of talent to be, and a lot of y'all got a lot of talent to just be parking it in TNA. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's not spots for y'all somewhere else.
Yeah. No, I get you. I feel you. I mean, and I like this pick because uh, it's not necessarily a wrestling pick. Like it goes to show the importance of the other moving parts that makes wrestling work than just the people who are actually doing the wrestling.
Yeah,
You know, we need managers too. We need interviewers too. We need commentators too.
yeah,
You know, that kind of stuff. No, I feel like that's a an out of the box pick, and I appreciate that. I like that. That being said, I'm still gonna go cliche and go for a wrestler.
okay.
um, and this one is a very personal pick for me because I think they may be the thing that I miss most about WWE, and that is Becky Lynch.
Mm,
I miss Becky Lynch so much. She was my fandom of her is probably the reason that my WWE fandom extended into 2019, despite the fact that the creative was not there to support that. Um, like it was, I held out so long, so much longer than so many other people I know to WWE, and and this is before I knew all of the things. So like, please don't like jump on my back. Oh, trafficking. It's like this is before, okay? This is 2016 ish, right?
yeah.
Uh, where the man or 2016, 2017. Uh, no, it's 2018 into 2019, I think. And you know, I went to see Evolution, and I saw her beat Charlotte in the last woman standing match, which is just killer. Like it was just this was she was the one that I held hope out for. Like, as a character, I really connected with her. I mean, she backs it up in the ring too, but like nobody in that locker room, in that female locker room, was as good as Becky on the mic. And it wasn't even close. As a personality, once they finally let her loose and just let her say whatever the heck she wanted to say, like there's nobody who came off as authentic as her at all. It wasn't even close. Like they had a lot of talented women on their roster who could go between the ropes, but as far as character was concerned, nobody was as convincing as Becky Lynch. And I miss her very, very much. And so when I see her show up and she's wearing Miss Rachel t-shirts and stuff like that, to at least try to get a little bit of do what she can to try and get a little bit of a positive message out on WWE programming, even if it's sneakily done.
Yeah.
Like it's like I can't fall in lockstep with a lot of the Blue Sky faithful. Like they have their standards, and I don't begrudge them that, but it's like it's more complicated than just everybody who works there is MAGA.
Yeah.
It's not that way. Like we don't know, you know, she's still there and she's still fighting from the inside, as clear evidence by her wardrobe of all things.
Yeah.
So like you got to give a lot of these people some credit. We only know what they choose to share with us. And she
Yeah.
chose to share that she stands with Miss Rachel and the children of Gaza. I don't think that that should be written off just because she works for the company that's, you know, the devil.
Yeah.
Her husband's there. Her husband is more questionable.
Is
But
the
like, why would you not want to work? If you're in this business, why would you not want to work with your spouse? It makes things so much easier when you
Mhm.
get to. It makes travel easier. It makes babysitting easier. especially when you're at the level of stars where they're at, where they're getting private buses and stuff like that. Like, as a family man myself, working with your spouse is preferable to not in a lot of cases.
Mhm. Yeah,
Having done both, like
Katie and I
it
work every day together almost. She has her
yeah,
job, but I mean, she also is the accountant for all my companies.
yeah,
And when I have to go out on tour, like that's difficult. Like
yeah,
I'd rather her be there and the kids too. But I mean, when they were younger and would have needed like all the care and like the extra buses and all that shit, like I wasn't going on tours that big either. I was one guy. Well, I was one of like 12 guys in a 15 passenger van, and we
yeah,
were rotating the back seat so everybody could get some sleep. Like so. Yeah, I mean, it's got at their level. Jesus Christ, it's got to be so easy. Way easier at least.
yeah. So I mean, I can't blame her for wanting to, you know, spend all of her time with her spouse when she was at home in between contracts. But he was going on the road for 4 to 5 days a week. She had to be single mom for all that time, essentially. Like
Yeah,
look at it from a purely like practical standpoint, and you'll see that it's not as cut and dry as bad company, bad, you should no work there.
yeah,
Like there are circumstances that, and I'm gonna sound awful for this, and I know people are gonna light me up for it if they bother to even mention it, but like I get why somebody would choose to work there if it meant their personal situation, their familial situation was in a secure place. I get
yeah,
it. I totally get it. So even, I mean, and it's very clear that she doesn't, holds the same positions because who else would wear a shirt that implicitly supports Palestine over Israel in that company? Like
yeah,
that takes some huge ovaries on her part. And I feel like, that should be commended. And I don't think she should be, you know, demonized for going back to work there because, like, look what she's doing while she's there. So, but yeah, I would have her in my locker room selfishly because I miss her.
Mhm. All right.
So
Uh,
you're number three.
my number three. Okay, so let's say this now. Tony Khan is never going to complete his Bullet Club playset. It's never
No.
going to happen
Oh, it's
because,
too big. It's
well,
too
if
big a place.
if WWE suddenly disappeared today, AJ Styles would probably just retire.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure he
think he
said
is.
as much. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to retire here. I'm done in the
Yeah.
next couple of years, whatever. So if it suddenly disappeared today, he'd probably just, take his retirement and go.
Yep.
But one person who wouldn't and who could help Tony Khan get, a little closer to that Bullet Club playset, Finn Balor.
I'm
And
okay with that.
I need Prince Devitt in AEW, and I need him catching some dubs because this shit there, Finn don't win on WWE. Okay, he just did. Finn don't win, man. That's just what it is. So,
It's
yeah,
true.
we need to give this man the respect back on his name that he built in Japan with Bullet Club. Um, let him bring the demon back out because they haven't done that for fucking ever.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
just let Prince Devitt run fucking wild over in AEW for a while and fuck put him as part of the Bang Bang Gang. Fuck it, him and Jay White back. Like him and Jay White with the guns and Juice
Yeah.
would be just a sick faction. Like just a
Yeah,
sick.
it's not like he can't hold his own with the comedy either. He
Yeah,
absolutely can.
yeah. Like
But
he's a
he can
funny
also
dude.
go in the ring and
And
he
he can
looks
go.
shredded.
Yeah, he's been guy just he's shredded it. I'm like, this guy might be too
Dude
shredded.
is
Like,
shredded wheat, man.
dude, yeah, he is just crazy stacked, man. But like, yeah, that's my third guy. I mean, and it's pretty simple because of course Tony Khan wants him. He's part of the Bullet Club playset.
Yeah,
It's really that simple. But also, he would fit. He would fit. There's plenty of places we could put him. He could stand on his own 2 feet. Maybe I don't know, just whatever to get him away from that Judgment Day shit. Either way, which I mean, I really don't know what's going on there. I haven't been watching, so but yeah, that would be one of the next ones. That would be my last one. There is him.
very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Well,
Yeah,
that
and
about
that is tough too because like there, like you said, there's so much
dude.
talent.
Yeah, there's so
Like,
many. There's so
like how
many.
do you just pick? And you look at history where you had this kind of same position with WWE when WCW and ECW folded within weeks of each other,
Hmm.
and the glut of talent that was it washed up on WWE shores like a wave,
Yep.
and
And they just threw everything at the wall and saw what stuck.
yep, like it was crazy. Like it's
Except for all the
still
WCW people we wanted.
yeah. Well, they had I don't begrudge them for their contracts either. Like
I would have paid out Sting whatever amount of money he asked.
yeah, I absolutely would have.
In
I would have paid
hindsight,
out.
everybody has to agree that the most egregious mistake WWE ever made was not paying out Sting whatever amount of money he wanted and immediately headlining WrestleMania with him and fucking Undertaker.
I
That
feel
should
like
have happened.
they should have bought
Everything
out
else they could
all
have
of.
shit canned. No
I don't
Goldberg,
understand.
no Buff, none of that.
I
But
don't
Sting.
understand. I mean, I do understand because the reason is Vince's ego. But as much as so many people have worked with him and have pointed out, oh, when it comes time to do business, he does business. It doesn't matter your past or whatever with him. It's like fact of the matter is, WWE, WWF at the time was riding high and their most profitable period up to that point. They bought WCW for a sweetheart deal of about what
$4
$3 million.
million.
That hits.
$4 million when Eric Bischoff was poised to sell that company for something like 48 million or something like that.
Yeah, they bought it for just pennies on the dollar of what it was actually worth.
Yeah.
They had the money to buy out those AOL
Every one of
contracts.
them, dude.
Every single one of them. They should have gotten Sting. They should have gotten Goldberg. They should have paid Diamond Dallas Page and paid Booker T
Mm-hmm.
instead of having them give up those contracts.
Yeah.
And they should have gotten Hogan, Nash, and Hall.
Yeah.
Those are the names that you should have chased. Sign all those other guys that you already signed. You needed an undercard too, but
Yeah.
you got to get the big names, man. And we didn't see any of them until almost a year after it was too late.
Yeah.
It was too late to capitalize on it. Like Sting and I don't understand why Vince never saw anything in Sting versus Undertaker. That's apparently the reason that never happened. According to the Undertaker himself,
That's what
Vince
everybody
didn't see
fucking
it.
wanted. So it should have happened. Fuck what Vince saw.
Yeah, it's like, isn't your job to see what the audience wants and then give them that? Isn't that, oh, you're such a great promoter. Oh, I give them what they want. Really? Because you never gave us the like that thing, and that was a thing that we all really, really wanted.
Yeah.
And
As
by the time
evidenced
it was
by
on the
most
tape,
WrestleManias, he didn't want to give us what we want.
and by the time it was actually viable and on the table, he gave us
Dude.
Sting versus Triple H, which nobody was interested in, and had Triple H go over as one last shot at a company that had died
Yeah.
15 years prior. What are we even doing? The pettiness. That company was dead in the ground. It was rotting. It was worm food. It was the coffin was empty. It had all gone away. Bare bones. And you're still pissing on the grave because you can't help yourself. And giant like I don't want to hear anything about how Vince McMahon was such a great promoter. It's like he did what he wanted. He didn't A great promoter would find out what the people actually wanted and then deliver it to them,
Yeah.
regardless of whether he understood it or not. And it's been proven time and time again that stuff that the fans want that Vince doesn't understand sometimes works out. He didn't get Steve Austin right away.
No.
He didn't get it. Look what he turned into.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. Just the biggest box office attraction in wrestling fucking history.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, just a little blip, you know.
And the
Uh,
fact that he couldn't take that lesson and apply it later in his life, it just goes to show how incredibly little self-awareness the man has.
yeah. Like literally zero.
Zero, just complete like, ugh, God, what a reprobate. I swear
Yeah.
to God.
Well, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Anyway,
with
that
a
was our picks for
yeah.
people we want to see at AEW. Um, I mean, there's tons of people out there who could fit in the system. Yes, there's a little bit of roster bloat going on right now, but we also have a bunch of injuries and a bunch of spots opening up and things needing to happen. So, I'd like to see more of that. I'd also like them to bring back Dark and, maybe open up some more roster spots. Um, Maybe that's just me. Who knows? Uh, but yeah, thanks for joining us this week. We will see you next week. Uh, it is a tough world out there, so be safe and keep your head up, and we love
Love you. Peace.
you.